Hello, everyone, and welcome to TEE TV. And with today we're sorry, yeah. All right. Today I am known as they always trip over nothing, and I have to ask, why do they always trip over nothing? But with me today as always is Damian and Stone. Say hello, guys.
to be
Good
known
morning.
to be known the Stone Cold Killer for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Today we are going to be discussing Slasher Season 1 in Skinamarink. Oh boy. I'm not looking forward to that. Oh boy. But
Just can't contain your love.
oh yes, I can't contain the excitement. Oh boy. Uh, let's see. Which one do you want to start with? Slasher Season 1 or Skinamarink?
I say we go with Skinamarink while you're still fired up about it.
Oh god. All right. So, let's see. In a word, I would say Skinamarink was boring.
And Damien?
I would say I could, if you go into it not knowing it's going to be an experimental movie, and even if you do, I could say it's a bit of an endurance test to a point. Like it's one of the oddest movies I've seen in a very long time. One of the most creative too, but definitely an odd movie.
I'll give him that. It was creative, but that doesn't always pay off.
No, I
Mm,
can say like I haven't looked up reviews for this movie, but I could see it being extremely polarizing. I could
Yeah,
see it being either you like it or you just like fuck this movie.
yeah. I'm in the category of like, yeah, I'm not a fan. Uh,
Because just because the basic premise is two kids, 4 and 6, brother and a sister, wake up in their house in the middle of the night, find their father gone, and windows and doors missing from their home, and more weirdness ensues.
yes.
So, what were you gonna say?
Apparently there is like some sort of like otherworldly entity who is like messing with the kids throughout the entire movie because you can hear the entity whispering to them, and that's pretty much all I got from that. And then there's also a couple of creepy scenes in the sense of like the entity telling the kids to like it's like giving them commands of some kind. It's just like, I mean, I wasn't able to make out some of the things that the entity was saying.
I was gonna
And
say I wish they'd use the subtitles more. They
yeah,
subtitle a lot
I
of
really
things, but
wish they
yeah,
did. But
I put the captions on just so I can make sure,
I put
you
the
know.
captions on late, and because I didn't think to put them on earlier. But I mean, even when I put the captions on and the whispering was happening, the captions were saying like unintelligible, like whispering is what it was saying.
okay. So maybe it's stuff you weren't necessarily meant to exactly know
Yeah,
what was being said.
yeah, exactly.
I heard come upstairs at one point.
Yeah, it
You
was
know,
that. It was usually usually pretty much even the kids when they weren't subtitled were usually pretty clear. It was more when the entity was speaking, where there were times I was just like, I have no idea what was just said. I know it sounded creepy, but I don't know what the words were.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, just there were sections throughout the like there was maybe one, maybe two sections of the movie that I thought were kind of exciting. Not exciting saying like, "Ooh, that was cool," but it was something that caught my attention, I guess is the best way to describe it. Because throughout the entire movie, except for these few moments, I was just sitting in my chair watching this movie and I was like about to doze off. I started the movie last night before I went to bed,
Yeah.
and I was just like my head was like tilting to the side and I was about to fall asleep. So I was like about an hour in, I turned the movie off and I ended up going to bed anyway. But there was a couple of moments where like something like bing like happened and it caught my attention. Like there was that scene in the bedroom where I think it was Kaylee who went in there and it was from her perspective and she saw her father or the entity taking the form of her father sitting on the bed, and then she looked away and her father disappeared, but on the other side of the bed there was her mother there, and then the entity taking the appearance of her mother had said that she needed to close her eyes, and then Kaylee from her perspective closed her eyes, and then the entity taking the form of her mother had disappeared when Kaylee opened her eyes. Like that moment was like, ooh, this is interesting, kind of. And
And then
then when
Kaylee also noticed there was something else in the room.
huh?
Kaylee also noticed there was something else in the room.
Yeah. And
I
then
think she said,
Kaylee
"There's someone here with us."
yeah, and then Kaylee turned her head and looked towards the threshold of the door, and then there was like this high pitched sound, and there was something coming out of the shadow.
I think it was like a hand, or like a shadowy hand and an arm
Yeah,
reaching out.
yeah, there was something like that, and it's just that caught my attention. It
That
did.
whole
That
sequence was
definitely caught my
really well
attention.
done.
Yeah.
Like when she said, like the way, like I mean, the way both parents, but when you first see the father, he's like just sort of you only see like sort of the legs and his arms just sitting very almost dead on the side of the bed,
Hmm.
like just motionless and very just like yeah, it was just creepy. And then it says, "Look under the bed." The camera starts to go down, and I was like, "Don't look under the bed. Please don't look under the bed." And there's nothing there, and like that happens a lot in this movie where there's nothing necessarily there, but I think that's kind of what makes it creepy too.
Mm.
Is that that expectation that something could be there? It's so like when you actually were a kid, and like I don't know if you were one of those kids, but I think a lot of us were. Where looking under the bed at night is spooky. You don't want to look under the bed.
Yeah.
What if something's
Well, I
under there?
mean, the thing that kind of like made me not really afraid of what was under the bed was that movie involving that movie involving monsters that starred Howie Mandel called Little Monsters. Do you remember
I
that?
don't. Yeah, vaguely, very vaguely.
Yeah, but Howie Mandel played the monster in that movie, and how you entered the realm of monsters is it that you would just go under the bed and it would be like a portal into their world. And that movie kind of made me not afraid of looking under the bed anymore.
Just there's a world of wonder and magic under there.
Yeah, pretty much. It didn't scare me anymore. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
takes away that just that. Because yeah, I remember like I never wanted to look under the bed as a kid when I was really young. It's just like yeah, no, there's nothing good could be under there.
Yeah, but that was one of my favorite movies growing up. I love that movie.
I think I've only ever seen it the once, and yeah, I would have been a kid when I saw it. Like
Yeah.
for many years.
I somewhat remember it, but I also remember that the main monster guy was played by Howie Mandel.
Which is funny to think about.
Yep.
You picture Howie Mandel, you're like, really? Him? A monster?
Well, I also
Monster.
don't picture him being a dirty like comedian, but yet
Also
he
true.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, to poor Howie, the monsters are germs. Massive
Yeah.
germaphobe.
Yeah, he's a massive germaphobe. Yeah,
Oh,
but anywho, back to Skinamarink. I don't know. It's just the movie had like I said, had a few moments in it that caught my attention, but most of it, I just wanted it to just keep going. It's just like it just
felt like it
didn't
just
catch my
felt a
interest.
drag.
It just felt like it was just taking forever to get through.
See, I was actually the opposite. Like for the most part, and I don't know, maybe I was just in the right mindset to watch it, I guess. But I chucked on the headphones, and I was actually pretty captivated throughout the whole thing. There's only, I think I checked the runtime like once or twice, but it was not. It wasn't hypnotizing necessarily, but I was in.
Yeah.
I think that was partly just because it is something, yeah, very unique. I could be a sucker for that kind of thing.
Well, look, I'm not against directors and writers trying to be more innovative and be more experimental in their
Kind of
creative
arty
process.
with things, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I'm not against that, but like I said before, that doesn't always pay off. And
No, no, no.
I don't think it paid off here. I really don't.
Like, I feel like
Well, this is where go ahead. I was
I was
going to
just gonna
come right
say
back into that.
probably my favorite part of the movie was, well, I loved that it felt like, even though it was set in 1995, it felt like a someone had dug up a print, like a 16 millimeter print from like the 70s or something.
Yes,
The way like the sound had that kind of like that old, like, yeah, like it was a weathered print,
it was
Mm.
purposeful.
something that had been, yeah, stuck in a warehouse for decades and no one knew about it. It's like, oh, here this is, with perhaps the most film grain I've ever seen. It was aggressive.
Hi guys. Popped in
Morning.
with a Jim Grindle fun fact. I couldn't help myself. I only came to hear Charles's opinion on Skinamarink, and I was just gonna sit there and I'm reading about it. Did you guys talk about what inspired this film? Because it's actually pretty fucking interesting.
No.
What inspired the film?
Well, it turns out the director, something Bell, I forget his name, Kyle Edward Ball. Kyle Edward Ball used to run a YouTube channel called Bite Sized Nightmares, where he would ask the viewers to submit their nightmares, and then he'd film recreations of said nightmares. Skinamarink was it's a composite of all of the tropes that were recurrent in the most commonly submitted nightmares. So it's like an amalgamation of people's nightmares. Or rather, not an amalgamation of, but it's the shared features of the most commonly submitted nightmares. Okay, fun fact over. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And the movie did feel like a nightmare. Like the way that there wasn't any real sort of
Does that change, Charles? I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's fucking cool. Bye, guys.
yeah, the way like I guess if you could call it a plot, the way things moved forward, it did feel very nightmarish. I don't know if you really would say there is if there is a plot, it's something you would you have to figure. It tells you nothing, more or less.
All right,
It's up to you to try and figure out
doesn't.
things like maybe it is purely like designed to be a discussion piece. There is no actual answer.
It it is interesting that is like the inspiration for the movie, but it does not change my opinion. Because for me to enjoy a movie,
Mm-hmm.
I need a proper plot. And this movie doesn't have one. Oh my god. I mean, I another criticism I have of this movie is like, what was the point of it all? Like, I mean,
What's the point of aliens?
Aliens.
Sigourney
What, like,
Weaver in tiny white panties.
I mean,
I wasn't I wasn't necessarily waiting for that, but
well,
hey,
I've never seen Aliens, so I don't know.
What?
what?
The first Alien movie that I've watched all the way through,
Hmm.
and I'm going to get flack for this
You say Prometheus.
from you guys and the audience, so I am fully prepared for it.
Okay.
Alien Resurrection.
The Ron Perlman one.
Yep. That was the first Alien movie that I watched all the way through.
So
And it's the only one you've watched all the way through?
No. The other Alien movies that I've watched after Alien Resurrection is, let me see. I did end up watching Alien 3 many years later. But I only ever watched it once, so I barely remember it. Let's see. I also ended up watching Prometheus, which is technically an Alien movie.
A
And
movie
then
I like a lot more than most people. A lot of people hate that movie. I had a lot of fun with it.
and then I ended up watching Alien versus Predator, which still counts as an Alien movie.
I liked the first one. Second one,
I started to watch Aliens versus Predator Requiem. Never finished it because that movie fucking sucks.
it's cool in concept, a slasher movie with Alien and Predator and an Alien Predator hybrid, but it's just never grabbed me.
well,
Yeah.
and let me tell you something, Charles. You watching Alien versus Predator was them trying to give a point to the xenomorphs, pretty much giving a point to Alien because there was no point to Alien. Like to have these things that were just so aggressive and so it's so vicious and so not so much single minded, but just fucking like focus on what they want to do that they'll put themselves in, in peril and possible death just to take somebody else out. I mean, and basically, so when you're looking for a point to them, it has to come to, well, these motherfuckers created them for sport, and to sharpen their skills. But I mean, why would you create something so fucking? Why would you create something that really takes on, that really, like, it's more? It uses people more than a host. It tries to find something that they can take on more of their properties. What I'm saying, for whatever reason. You know, it's a trip. I
Which
still
one was
wonder.
it? Was it Resurrection with like the alien human hybrid?
Yes,
That was
it
Resurrection.
was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's also
that got sucked out into space.
and that was
Yeah.
also and that's also the movie that had Winona Sticky Fingers Ryder.
Really,
She's never
I
gonna
mean,
live that down, is she?
that happened like decades ago, dude. I mean,
I know, but it's still like I still think of it. I'm like, oh, she's that shoplifting broad.
oh my god.
Good actress, but
No, she is a good actress. But it's just like, I mean,
Look, Carrie from King of Queens, that she went to the store that she shoplifted from and was it Bloomingdale's, and she was like, yeah, she understood why Winona stole.
really, what was it? Justification? Which it's pricey.
How great, but yet expensive the clothes were.
Okay. It's like, yeah, but you.
It was this episode where she was.
Well.
It was this episode where she was where she was like
Oh,
buying
actually,
stuff.
on the show.
Yeah, on the show, it was an episode where she was buying stuff and then returning it after a few days.
So just like she had to go out somewhere, so she would go get something.
No, eventually it got so bad that she had like her whole home office like filled up with different clothes and a system of when she had to bring certain things back and everything like that. That she actually said Doug ass out there who got some who basically got in front of some Europeans who started talking European in front of him, and he got scared and ran.
That's understandable.
I need to go back and watch the earlier Alien movies before I watch Alien Romulus.
I am looking
Why?
forward to that.
Why?
You probably don't
Well,
really need.
because I mean,
You should
I
even.
need. I need to be able to watch those movies just to say that I did watch them.
I mean,
The-
you could get a theme going on those movies, but honestly, what I felt like they started to do was that they started to sort of like do what I felt like in a way, yeah, they were continuations in a way, but they were installments still. Because mainly when they started doing these names, it was mainly the names of the ships that were, what I'm saying, that it's essentially the name of the ships now that they were on when they headed and they basically encountered the xenomorphs, or the ship that a ship that they found when they, when they encountered the xenomorphs or something like this. So it seemed like it's more like that than it's like Alien 3, Alien 4, or Alien, or whatever. So it's just like, it's more, it seemed more installment like, but more trying to give a, give a storyline, possibly even give, I mean, I felt like for better or for worse, they gave. So, I mean, okay, let me ask you this then. Should the origin of the xenomorphs be considered a simple creation of of the predator species for sport, or is there another like origin of where they actually came from, how they were able to create these things?
well, technically, we already have the official creation of the xenomorphs, thanks to Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Well, would you? So what you would say was the technical creation of it?
Well, I mean, those movies are now, as far as I know, recognized as the official canonized creation of the xenomorph.
So
Alien,
that's the
Alien
start.
versus Alien versus Predator, as far as I know, at least in the Alien and Predator fan base, does not recognize those as canon.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure you're right about that. I
Yeah,
think both. I think officially it's not recognized. I could be wrong about that, but
yeah, they don't recognize them as canon.
So, okay. So,
but then
because we
from what I
were,
gather, I think even Prometheus, I think, has some stuff that doesn't line up properly from memory.
so I want to make sure we get for those people who may not be sure what that means and everything like that. That's why I try to keep it, more in the casual space for the casual people that that don't quite know these terms. So just so we're clear, what you're saying is that Alien versus Predator is not them adding this element of they created them so that they could like hunt them and sharpen their skills. That's not something that they look at as part of the xenomorph story,
Correct. Yes.
but and they created it for.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen Prometheus.
No, what I'm
Um,
saying, no, no,
Alien,
no. What I'm saying is,
Alien
Alien versus
versus
Predator.
Predator
Why
is
do
more
this?
or less considered to be a side story, more like fan fiction.
Okay, apparently Prometheus and Covenant confirmed Alien versus Predator is not canon to the Alien movies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought.
So,
Even though I enjoyed Alien versus Predator, yeah, it's not canon.
I
okay.
guess
So what?
it's canon in the Predator franchise, but not within the Alien franchise, I guess, is what I'm gathering here without reading a
Oh,
long article about it.
So Disney considers them to be two distinct universes separate from each other.
That seems to be what I just read, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, that's fine. But without Alien versus Predator, does it does it make does do you still see a point of the xenomorphs without Alien versus Predator?
Um,
This is where, yeah, like I wish I remembered Prometheus and Covenant more, because I feel like they
in
did sort of give
Prometheus,
some detail.
They,
But
they spoke on it. The main thing that I took away on Prometheus is that there was, you know what I'm saying, there was conversation the from I guess that ultimate cyborg, you know, about these first, about these beings that came there,
they
or
were
that these
called the
beings,
engineers.
yeah,
and then we have this whole thing where some sort of like plague was like dropped down upon them.
Um, in uh, in Prometheus, the xenomorphs did not make an appearance. They didn't. They let's see, what was it? The original face hugger, however, did make an appearance, and it was vastly different compared to what we were familiar with. It was much bigger, and it latched on to the engineer in the movie, implanted its eggs into it, and then in a post-credit scene of the movie, something known as the protomorph burst out of its chest, and it like showed itself.
it
It
was like
was
it was like white or something, wasn't it?
it wasn't white, it was like bluish gray.
Yeah, like a much lighter color than, yeah, like the straight black of the xenomorphs.
Yeah, yeah. And when the protomorph showed up and did its whole like elongated like jaw kind of thing, people did not like it. There was a lot of criticism to what that thing was.
I mean, I would say if anything,
And they tried to fix it in Alien Covenant.
but I would say it was a nod. It almost looked like a nod to that shit on House on Haunted Hill, if you guys remember. There was
Wait, do you
something.
How
mean
so?
There was
you mean
something
the
that,
haunting?
no, the House on
Wasn't
Haunted Hill. No,
wasn't
no,
House on
actually,
Haunted Hill that Vincent Price movie?
that was the original. But then there was the remake that
Okay.
involved that had oh my god, why am I forgetting her fucking name right now? You know, why am I forgetting her name right now? Um,
David Spade.
no. Um, God, she's gorgeous. Always been gorgeous. But Tay Diggs was in it, and also old girl from Final Destination, and is it Jeffrey Rush? It's also in that as a Vincent Price type character. I think his name was actually Vincent also, but no, no, no. I think his last name was Price, but his first name was God damn it. But he had the fucking roller coaster that was like, I mean, goddamn. I mean,
Maybe I did see that. I have to look this up.
that roller coaster he made was an extra element of fucked up for people. I mean, he actually had an element of that roller coaster where one of the, so there's a car that's on before that seemed like it has people in it, and they make it to where they they automatically the way electronically break off a part of the track so the damn joint in front of them can like veer off and like just fall off the track and whatnot. Anything's gonna happen to them and shit like that. It's crazy.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do recall seeing this now. I don't remember it anywhere near as much as the first one, but I've seen the first one a few more times, though.
Really, the original, eh?
Yeah,
But I would say that in the remake there was a point um where God damn it, it's the girl that was in Last Action Hero and in Billy Madison and other shit. Really pretty.
Oh, like she played the love interest in Billy Madison.
Yes.
She was in Mortal Kombat as well. Bridget something.
But yeah, she was in there. There was a point where she was around looking around and saw something, and like I said, it was one of these things that ran up on that kind of reminded me. It kind of like that thing that they were showing in in those more recent movies. Like I said, it definitely reminded me of that. I'd say.
Yeah, I barely remember that remake.
Like I said, it
As
was
soon as you said
pretty.
roller coaster, though, I was like, oh,
Oh my god! And of course, the guy who plays Vandecott in the movie was in Reanimator. I don't know why I'm forgetting his goddamn name. He was in Reanimator. You know what I'm saying? In the subsequent sequel, I forget his fucking name.
hold on. Oh no. Yes, we've got Jeffrey Rush, Famke Janssen, Taye Diggs, Ali Larter, Bridget Wilson. I had the first name right. Peter Gallagher and Chris Kattan. Peter Gallagher, I guess. Oh,
Jeffrey
Peter
Combs.
Graves.
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Combs.
Combs. James Masters.
But yeah, that guy, the legendary Jeffrey Combs was in that as as the psychotic as a psychotic ghost now. Dr. Vandecott.
Dr. Vandercock. Wait, Dr. Vandercock. What?
If I'm saying it right, I thought it was Vandecott from
Vandercott. Okay, there we go.
Charles, you'd know this guy from a bunch of Star Trek stuff.
Yeah. Jeffrey Combs played a lot of characters across several Star Trek shows.
Yeah, over like quite a decent period of time, it seems like.
Fun fact, he was even in one of the Freddy's Nightmares episodes when they felt like he could have his own TV show.
Did that go for long? I only ever saw maybe 2 episodes of it.
Wait, what show is it?
Freddy's
Freddy's
Nightmares.
Night.
2
Freddy's
seasons.
Nightmare. Wait, isn't that
Like
that
Tales from the
TV
Crypt
show
with
from
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Freddy's Nightmare. I don't know how long it went on though.
I feel like not long, but I don't know, maybe because I don't recall it being on TV here long, but that doesn't mean much.
Yeah, I didn't watch it when it was live. I watched it on VHS tapes.
Okay.
But yeah, 2 seasons.
It would have been some like network, right? It wasn't like Showtime or anything.
Yeah, it was
Seems
network.
about right. Yeah. Let's see. All right. All right. I'm about to do it, guys.
What are we doing? Or what are
Dead
you doing?
air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Oh my god. All right. So what are we doing?
Okay,
What are we?
we're going back to Skinamarink a little bit more because
Yeah.
I just look, I wanted to look. It was a challenge. I heard about it, and just the images and what I was seeing at first, it was just like I didn't know what to expect. You know what? I didn't expect blood and gore when I first started seeing some previews for it, and it was
Yeah,
going
I
to be on
wasn't
Shudder.
expecting that either. I really wasn't. Like the scene where the entity pretty much told Kevin to stab himself in the eye, I was like, wait, what? They're really going that far? And then there was that scene on, I think it was a cabinet where we see blood splatter. I was like, okay, what the hell? Like they
Was that?
didn't actually show him do it, which is a good thing, but they actually took it to that point. And I was like, can they even do this?
And then there was that scene pretty much right at the end where you get the blood splatter on the ceiling and some screams. Then it disappears. Then it happens again. I think it does like 3-4 times.
Yep.
Not entirely sure what that was meant to be exactly, but then I think that kind of plays into this, like the nightmare aspect of things.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing that the mother died. Maybe she just left, but the way they sort of, I don't know, it seems like I would say she died because there's a certain point early on when one of the kids mentions the mother and the other one's like, I don't want to talk about her.
Died. I don't remember because I know.
Because it just seems like so much more emphasis is put on the father initially. Like they're not like, oh, mom and dad aren't home. It's just dad's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because
like it's not. Yeah, not like they were both gone. It's very much focused on him.
Yeah.
Because he definitely was supposed to be there, and then he wasn't. Then we even heard him on the phone call, and then he just wasn't there. And then and then there was at one point where someone was in their bedroom.
Someone the kid recognizes their father, and we only see I guess it's a point of view shot, but you never see anything above like the waist. You see his legs and his arms sort of resting on the bed, very kind of slumped.
I'm just saying when we start to really lay all of this out, it's fucking creeped out, man. It's like, and then to have young kids well below teenage years having to experience this. I mean, it's quite jarring, I have to say, in my opinion.
Yeah, just no comprehension. Like not even it's like she was 6, he was 4. Even at 6, you're still nowhere near being able to comprehend any of that. Like, it's one thing like trying to figure out why you're home alone, let alone where the house is, locking you in.
And then,
which even that you're probably not just like the house is, you're probably at 6, not like, oh, the house has locked me in. You just like the windows are gone, the door's gone. You don't even know what that means.
No, you know what it means you know what it means if you know about leaving. If you know about if you've been taught to try to escape somewhere and you can't escape there. I mean,
yeah, but that's what I mean though. Like you're looking at it like you're woken up in the middle of the night. It's your own house. You're not even thinking about leaving. Like even if dad's gone, you're not like, oh, I'm going to go out into the dark and try and find him.
Yeah. But then you start.
Like, I should probably go back to my room and just stay there.
I don't know, but then you start noticing that. But then you start noticing that things are like find themselves on the walls and things like that. And things like that. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a weird situation, and I don't even know if they could. I don't know if they were actually. I think they were actually able to reach someone when they tried to make a call. I think, and then they weren't. If I remember correctly,
it was, at least I took it as being that was the entity tricking them into thinking they were calling the outside.
See, and that's okay. So then that was what that was. Okay,
because it was sort of like because he was on the phone for a little while, then the phone dropped, and then there was a scene with Kevin and this faceless entity, just the voice. I think it sort of laughed and was just telling him like, I can do anything.
Yeah.
But I also kind of, because like just based on like jumping sort of ahead to the ending, when like the scene you're talking about with the room expanding, where it sort of, shit turns upside down. Things start getting further and further away to the point where you can actually see the house. It's like the house surrounded by like his toys, I guess. I guess that's what all that clutter was.
I don't know. It just seemed like the room expanded into like some other place. It's almost like if you were walking through like some major city and like you're just seeing this like walkway. That's what it felt like to me. Like
Yeah, but you saw it looked like the outside of a house, though.
it just looked like outside completely. But I don't know
Yeah,
if it was like I was because I could it was hard to put myself like that specific because I never see what their outside environment is like. We never see what the outside environment is like. So it's like, is that even their environment on the outside, or is that some other place that some other place that basically he's like taken them to or created by expanding this room like that. Like the room is just an expansion and it creates this other place. I can't even say like I don't think I guess in my mind my takeaway was I didn't feel like he was moving the house or that he was like or that he was like opening up the house and like expanding the room. I felt like he made this room into this little dimension and expanded the room
yeah.
to where now we're seeing this thing or we're seeing like this area that seemed like this like walkway and some cityscape that's like but it's like it's nothing and it's just completely eerie,
And
this
then
like
it flashes up 572 days, which I saw that, and then I thought back to like when we first hear the father talking about him falling down the stairs while he's sleepwalking, and I was sort of wondering, like, is this kid in a coma or something? Like, is this all like some kind of coma nightmare or something like that? Like, or maybe like, yeah, he didn't need stitches, but he cracked his head real hard, and now he's yeah having this living nightmare or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I
There was a lot of just because it doesn't tell you anything.
because
It
Wait,
gives you
are
a
you
lot of things to what?
wait? Are you suggesting that when Kevin fell down the stairs and had to be taken to the emergency room, he's now like the events of the entire movie is that he is now experiencing a coma dream, and this entire movie was just a dream?
though I
Maybe
thoroughly though I
because
thoroughly enjoyed it in Sucker Punch, I just don't feel like this is what that was.
Wait,
I just
wait,
wonder what
you
the
enjoyed
significance.
Sucker Punch?
Here we go.
I did.
Oh my god. Sucker Punch was a tire fire.
I don't know. I like artsy shit sometimes.
Sucker Punch was Zack Snyder's wet dream. That's what it was.
I mean,
It was just him dressing up those actresses in just like provocative clothing throughout the entire fucking movie. That's all it was.
but you never actually see them dance. When Baby Doll starts to dance, she creates this spark and this energy, and then you're immediately transported to some mission that they're doing where they're badass, you know what I'm saying? Where they're badass chicks like fighting off different things and doing a bunch of wild shit that you would not expect to see, you know what I'm saying, to see women that pretty doing. That is the parallel. Playing having Bjork on the soundtrack is just fucking like, come on. Army of Me is just one. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just that bass line is just fucking classic. It's fucking tough. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm sorry. It's just, see me, you give me a stage to debate some of these movies on that I fucking felt like were just overlooked and due to and left to misguided opinions. Then I will give you a movie like, wow, that shit really sounds more interesting what other people made it. Exactly. Yeah, you see the girls dressed up like that when they're rehearsing. But whenever she starts to dance, you think you're going to see her dance. No, you're immediately transported into one of these missions. You know what I'm saying? Everything like that. It's fucking crazy. It was the awesome part of it, the way you think you're gonna get just, you know what I'm saying, just her gyrating and doing all this shit, but then all of a sudden what they're saying is that that energy that she creates is so fiery, is so, you know what I'm saying, it's almost so kind of violent that it depicts this type of situation. It's like, wow. And all of it basically was her creating this stuff, her getting them all mixed up, and then creating this mission in her mind where there was really them trying to escape, her trying to escape from the moment she got there. It was just great. It was just great. I hated the fact that she didn't quite make it out of there, but you know,
Yeah, it was definitely a real downer of an ending.
see, and that's the thing about it too. You know, some, you know what I'm saying, some got, you know what I'm saying, you got people who got sacrificed. She didn't quite make it out of there, but she kind of had that evil little smirk that, you know what I'm saying, that the, you know what I'm saying, the character played by, you know what I'm saying, Oscar Isaac, you know what I'm saying, was gotten, and but one did make it out. And then the whole thing, the whole irony or coincidence of the bus driver being Scott Glenn, that was guiding them through, that was somehow guiding them throughout this whole fevered mental dream. I guess it was weird. And by the way, I want to, because I always look at this, and like when people really try to take a chance at a redo. What did you guys think about the Pixies remake in that movie?
Wait, repeat the question.
There was a Pixie remake of Where's My Mind, and it was a slowed down piano type version to it.
I don't really remember it. It's there, but I haven't seen that movie since it came out, so I can definitely kind
Yes,
of picture it though.
but I felt like it was. I felt like I think I realized at that point. I think I was starting to realize at that point that I like when people take chances. If you're gonna do a remake, really take a fucking chance with it. See where it goes. You know, you might get something like Disturbed. You know what I'm saying? Sound of Silence. That is just like, that's like legendary to me. It pretty much almost rises up to what fucking the original from Simon and Garfunkel. But that shit is just legendary. And
Well, that version of Mad World from Donnie Darko.
hmm, the original is always going to be hard to beat. The original
It
is
is,
always
but
going
as
to be
far as
hard to beat.
yeah, but as far as taking it and making it something completely different
Oh, okay, yeah, I will
and
give you
still
that.
still arguably great, I would say great, but many people are like, bullshit, bullshit garbage.
But Disturbed is up there. Johnny Cash is definitely up. Oh my god, he's probably number one. He probably is the only thing that takes number one
Yeah,
over fucking Disturbed. Sound of Silence is his hurt, because you, I mean, and the reason why I say it like that is not because it's just because it's Johnny Cash. It's because it's Trent Reznor. No one remakes Trent Reznor songs because he fucking like destroys like his own song. Like he creates such a fucking visceral, just depressive, angry, nightmare of a song. It's like, who can remake that? Who only Marilyn Manson wants to remake a Nine Inch Nail song. You know what I'm saying? Like no one wants to, not saying that he did, but I'm saying like no one wants to really remake a Nine Inch Nail song. It's like Trent Reznor just writes in a way that's just like, who wants to, you don't touch that. It's just like you don't remake that. You know what I'm saying? But then Johnny Cash finds a way to, make it something completely different. He makes it into this very tragic country western type of, introspective look. It was just, and then with him dying a little bit after that, it brings a little bit more to it. It's just like, it just brings a little bit more legendary to that situation. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but then something like Willie Nelson and Wendy O of the Yeah Yeah Yeahs doing Under Pressure the way that they did it was just
That's
like
right. I remember that. Yeah.
it's just another way they did it. It was just wow. You know what I'm saying? Like the simple way they fucking just did that thing and took everything else away and just really made this thing. It was just like definitely one of the tops to me as far as remakes go. Definitely goes right up there, top five in my opinion, as far as like the best remakes ever done. You know, so and
I
you guys
remember you
do.
telling me to listen to it, and I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
I mean, I've always liked the Yeah Yeah Yeahs music, and Willie Nelson is a fucking legend, and of course, and yeah, that I expect that they would come and do a song like Under Pressure that was really that bass line, like Queen. Like by the way, I just while we're doing our little talking over the music thing here a little bit, but Queen and just their bass lines, the way they put music together, man, along with Freddie Mercury's voice, it was just I don't know, man. They connected in a way like I understand why the Junkyard Dog, for you know, a legendary pro wrestler, when he heard Another One Bites the Dust, he was like, hell yeah, I got to come out here, I got to come out to that. Like like the message on that shit. I mean, the hook is just beast. You know, Another One Bites the Dust. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like and everything that came along with that. But it's just like the bass line on that shit is just fucking like, are you fucking serious? You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't expect rock bands back at that time to really have like to really have bass lines that you could really just like get into like as far as like me and like people of my ilk could like get into, but them just was like, you know, there's a couple of joints that where the bass line is just like fucking just, you know, like they're really good at that. They were really good at just making it like they could rock out like a motherfucker, but then they could make these fucking groovy ass bass lines that were just like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you sample
And
shit like
it's not often enough that you get the bass guitar actually, like, riffs on the bass guitar rather than just being like part of the, you know, going along with the drums as being like part of the sort of backing foundation.
I mean, when you
Because
guys
I
when we
love a good bass riff. You don't hear it enough with a lot of rock and whatnot.
but
But
what you
when,
don't
like, yeah, some examples though, like Queen,
but
fucking
what you have
goddamn.
but when you have guys that are see that's the difference. Like with Queen and like with Rush, for another one for example, when you have guys, okay, this guy sings. He may play some guitar, but these guys play guitar. But every one of these guys are like musicians at a high level. So it's not like we're here just because you got more like the lead singer that like they don't really want to be a bassist. They don't really want to be a lead guitar, but they're like
Hmm.
telling guys how to play certain things and how to do certain things. But it's like when you had guys back at those times, it's like they knew how to play their bass. So when they're hearing how the rest of the damn track is going, they know how to add something in there to really bring an element in to it just I feel like it makes you feel like no one had to tell him how to bring that bass line in like that. Like he just knew when everything was going, he just kind of you know what I'm saying? He just brought that shit in and it's like, okay, that shit was working when they were kind of thinking about how to it's just like, but now somebody would probably have to be told, yeah, we need you to kind of work this thing in like this. It was like, but it's like most of those guys, like they just kind of knew, and it's like everybody was kind of pitching in, and a song was really created. And then while they were doing all that, Freddie Mercury was sitting over here actually writing the poetry that would be these fucking songs, man. I mean, it's you know,
And
like
then with
all of that.
musicians like that, you get the bass. Sometimes the bass will be the first thing instead of like a guitar riff. You'll get a sick bass riff, and then they'll
Mhm.
merge in on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and then I mean, just like I don't know, with certain people. And by the way, folks, like there was a meme, and I wanted to explain this to people because sometimes it's just funny, and you just you kind of dip away from all of that know-it-all stuff. But give me one second here. Sorry, being an asshole right now.
I haven't listened to Queen in ages.
I mean, I listen to
Huh.
Queen when it's on the radio or something. If my radio decides to work,
Like
but
sometimes I
I got one
just
of those '80s boom boxes.
no, I'm talking about the radio in my car.
Okay.
Yeah, the radio in my car has not worked properly in probably like 5 years.
look. I'm just saying, man. It's you just realize like with Queen, for example, like if you like pro wrestling, like anything where you need to make a grand entrance, and I don't know, and I just think that says something about the LGBTQ community in music because Freddie Mercury was definitely somebody who wrote big and grandiose, and the poetry was just, I mean, like everything that you wanted in like good rock music was there. And I mean, like the man happened to be gay. I mean, but like I said, the fact that he was, I mean, did it contribute? It probably did. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it's the influence of his parents and everything like that. But maybe experiences that way. Who knows? But the fact that we don't know, and the fact that one of the greatest singers and songwriters that ever was, probably, you know what I'm saying, it was gay, like just look at it as a good thing and embrace, and you probably embrace a little bit more of the fucking culture. But I'm just like as great of a cult classic that Flash Gordon would have been, you know what I'm saying, would have been like on its own, just how much it was elevated by a fucking song that they made especially for the fucking movie. And it was just fucking awesome. You know what
I
I'm
would
saying?
argue overshadowed by that song.
I wouldn't say it overshadowed. It took a B movie and made it seem like a fucking summer blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? Like
That
that's
song
what
is
they
just
did.
that song is so fucking great.
That epic song, it took a B movie. It was what was seen overall as a B movie, but it had fucking one of the fucking James Bonds in it, by the way. You know what I'm saying? It was just crazy. Had Timothy Dalton in there. You know what I'm saying? So random, but he was in there. And it's just, it took a supposedly B movie and made it seem like it was a summer blockbuster. It just made it fucking even. It just made it fucking epic, man. It's just like it was great. It was fucking great. Like you could almost see Highlander as sort of a B movie, but they wrote the song especially for it, and it just made it like a fucking like it made it a fucking leading movie that you're
Yeah.
supposed to see. Like, how could you not see this Queen is fucking doing a song for it? You know what I'm saying? Like that's and then people knew that that's the formula. We got to get fucking Queen doing a fucking song for us. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you serious? Like even fucking Don't Stop Me Now, as random as it was in Shaun of the Dead, it's still fucking it. It's
It was,
still
it was
fucking it.
perfect. Yeah.
And of course, "Don't Stop Me Now" is one of my favorite Queen songs.
Oh my god! And it was great in Hardcore Henry. It was fucking fantastic in Hardcore
Still
Henry.
haven't seen that yet. I've
That
had
was the
that
name of
sitting
that
there for
movie.
ages now.
Huh?
That was the name of that movie. That first-person perspective movie, right?
Hardcore Henry. Oh yes, it was
Yeah,
great. It was great
yeah.
shit fun.
Oh
It
my
I
was
watched
god,
like I watched
Hardcore
the first
Henry
20
was
minutes. I gotta watch the rest. It was fucking intense.
yeah, Hardcore Henry was an interesting movie. The story was a little but the action was just amazing. I loved the action in that movie. And the "Don't Stop Me Now" section of that movie, oh man, it was chef's kiss. Fucking loved it.
I'll
Ugh.
have to finish that because what I saw was extremely well executed.
Yes. The action was just top tier, man. It was great. But yeah, "Don't Stop Me Now." Like everybody like sings the high praises of Bohemian Rhapsody because it's Bohemian Rhapsody. Everybody loves that fucking song. But for me, it's
Funnily
don't
enough, that's actually probably one of my least favorite of theirs.
yeah, but for me, it's "Don't Stop Me Now." I love that song. Just something about "Don't Stop Me Now" just gets my blood pumping and I get excited. Every single time that song plays, I get excited.
Yeah, they want like one of those bands that they understand dynamics,
Yeah.
like just experts at dynamics.
Yeah. I'm also a pretty big fan of the song "Bicycle" as well. But
Yeah,
I think that might be because of the movie How High.
I was about to say, yeah, that's one of
Yeah,
the best scenes.
yeah. Because just that scene where they steal that guy's bike and they're playing the song "Bicycle, Bicycle."
He's just like
God,
screaming, almost crying, like they stole my bike.
yeah, yeah. Because every time I hear the
Bicycle.
song "Bicycle," it reminds me of that scene. I need to see How High again because that was just such a great movie.
I haven't seen it in years, but God, I watched it so many times when I first discovered it.
Yep. Uh, such a good movie.
Was
Yeah, Method Man and Red Man. Yep. Comedy duo of the ages. Uh,
yeah. No, I'm just thinking of scenes from How High.
yeah, just thinking about all those great scenes. Like what was his name? Fred Willard is his name?
Fred Willard, yeah,
Yeah, Fred
rest
Willard.
in peace.
Just yeah. Oh, he's dead?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know he was dead. Oh shit.
fairly like in the last, I want to say within the last 3 years ish.
Yeah.
Could be
But no,
longer.
just
Time
like
goes by, but yeah.
yeah, that scene at the end of the movie where they're having that gala and he's doing like the whole like gangster talk to the dean. He's doing the hand gestures. Oh God. Oh man. Uh,
I've always loved the
uh,
scene where Redman's ripping into the dean when they first like get to class. He's like, "Look at this tie wearing something, something, motherfucker!" And Method Man's just like, "Get him!" And he just keeps ripping into him, and the dean's almost exploding.
yeah. Yeah. Such a great movie. Man, love it so much.
Golden age of comedy,
Yeah, oh yeah.
or
Well,
at least one of the golden ages. There's been a couple.
yeah, didn't How High come out like in like the early 2000s?
Yeah, I want to say like 2002, something like that. I feel like.
Yeah. I think I was in high school when that movie came out.
Yeah, I think I was in very early high school when that came out. Or at
Yeah.
least that's when I first discovered it. Anyway, that's when it.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it was a great movie. Loved it. All right. So, do we have anything else to cover about Skinamarink, or are we good on it?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
Okay.
I want to know what the hell the significance of that 572 days was, but I'll
Oh,
never
I
know.
have no idea. When that dropped, when we got that 572 days, I thought that's how long they were trapped in that house.
That's kind of what I was wondering. That's why, like, yeah, because I was like, okay, has he been in? That's when I was thinking it might have been a coma. I was like, has he been in a coma for 572 days? And this is him, like, sort of slowly dying? Or, yeah, have they been tortured by this entity for five? Like, what does this mean?
Yeah, but when I thought that they had been trapped in this house for 572 days, I'm like, okay, so what have they been eating for 572 days? What have they
Yeah,
been drinking for 572 days?
like
Because a person can survive a month without food, but they can only survive 3 days without water.
a month without food, really?
Yeah, I think it's a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have thought, like, once you're getting past, like,
Well, actually, no.
I
Let
would have
let
figured,
let,
like, once
let me
you're getting to, like, a
rephrase.
week and a half, you'd be.
Let me rephrase. It's a fully grown adult that's a month without food.
Oh, so it's sort of
It's
like, I guess you're feeding on everything you sort of got.
yeah.
I guess,
It's just
I
by,
guess if
by
you're a bit
the end
heavier,
of that
you've probably got
month,
more to go on.
like for that entire month, you're going to be in a lot of pain.
And you'd figure
Like
after like the first week or so, you'd pretty much just be almost comatose. You'd have no energy to do anything.
yeah, you're going to be in a lot of pain, but you'll still be alive. It's going to be pretty much a month of suffering.
Yeesh.
But but you'll be alive. As long as you have water, you'll still be alive. But without water, oh, you're pretty much fucked. Yeah, because you can only survive like 3 days without water.
Wow, 3 days.
If you don't have water, yeah, you're going to be dead in like 3 days.
God damn.
You will
Morning,
die
Kish.
in 7
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, it'll be dehydration that'll kill you.
You will die in 7 days.
I kind of would have thought it'd be more than 3 days, but then at the same time, I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
7 days. That's how long it took. That's how long it took Samara to die.
It's true, but she had water to drink, though.
Oh, really? Did she
I mean,
really?
if you get real desperate,
Yeah. But
Who
did she
is
really?
Samara?
from the Ring, girl in the well.
Oh, her. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
I haven't watched The Ring in like years, and I've only ever seen it once.
Tomorrow Sadako from the Japanese ones.
Right.
But yeah, you think like as terrible as that water is, if you're getting real desperate, you're probably gonna at least try it. So it's not gonna
Well,
be good, and it may even be worse than not drinking.
Well, I mean, hell, take a look at what happened with Lucy in the Fallout show. She was getting thirsty, and she was desperate, and she ended up drinking that irradiated water.
She was tricked into it.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean,
Goals are like TEE-HEE.
it's weird. We talk about it, and it's like, but it's like in 28 days later, when they were in the grocery store, and he was looking at those. I believe they were apples. If I remember correctly, I believe they were apples, and he was like, irradiated, like he welcomed it.
It's like it's extra
Wait.
protein or something.
In 28 days later, I didn't think they were dealing with a nuclear like fallout. I thought it was.
I
Just
didn't either.
I thought it was just infected people.
I didn't either, but he said it when he looked when he picked up these apples that looked like there were nothing wrong with them, that they were just fine, like they looked like they were just there, just fresh, nothing wrong with them at all. And he picked one up and he was like, irradiated. I'm just like, okay, is that why they're looking great like that still? And even though all this shit is happening and no one's been in there to tend to anything, you know what I'm saying? Is that why they're still looking good like that?
Or is that just what he says when he sees some good-looking food? He's like, it's his catchphrase.
Irradiated? Okay,
Yeah. He
totally
walks
random.
up like he walks. He's like Woody Harrelson from Zombieland. He like walks past a display of Twinkies and he says like, irradiated. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I swear. Ugh.
But that okay. Well, I would say this.
It's like, oh yeah, man, that shit's irradiated.
Yeah, that's just. I don't know. That's not gonna catch. I don't know. If that's gonna catch.
No, it's not gonna catch until somebody tries to make it catch. Jesus Christ.
But I will say this, guys. I will thank you for being willing to hear me and to take in what I was saying. Look, I know. Look, I'll be honest. Okay, I can understand how the movie could give boring to some people, but like when you really sit in the fact of, if it was more of a movie like we're outside of it watching a movie happen, it would be different. But they gave us this weird ass perspective, like putting us in the room with them and having and being like little kids like them and having weird ass angles and perspectives. See, that's the thing that kind of got to me. Like they put us in the mode of being like kids like them and having weird ass angles and perspectives to how we see shit. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to see shit the full way.
So putting us on the same level as them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like you don't see everything completely. All you're seeing is light here, door cracked, and you know what I'm saying, you're not seeing much else. You're small, so you're only seeing it to a certain level, and the camera's only keeping it at that level that you know what I'm saying, that they're able to capture at certain points and everything like that. So you're not being given everything, and because it's kids, they can't show the brutalization of kids, so they're keeping that
No.
weirdness. Although they go there, they keep it off camera, which is still kind of, you know, you don't know what happens to the kid. You start to see this weird music. You start to hear this weird music playing, and like you say, the blood on the ceiling, and it just keeps going back. It just creates this taunting. I say it's more taunting than nightmarish. Like it's not really happening. He just fucking taunting. He can do anything. He's just taunting them. You know what I'm saying, knowing that he got her to come, you know what I'm saying, knowing he got her to come up there or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, and now he's just taunting, you know what I'm saying, over and over again that he's done that. You know what I'm saying? It's
And
just
that's
disturbing.
mainly like the very brief flash of her where you see like her mouth is like, you know, her
Yeah.
mouth is gone. I think her eyes are gone too. I'm fairly sure they were both covered over, as though they weren't even there
I think he
anymore.
definitely said, he definitely told me make sure she couldn't talk because she kept saying it was like, yeah, so it was just, come on, man. It's just,
Hmm.
yeah. It's disturbing. It's about on the senses, on how you feel about kids and kids being in a situation like that, how you will react as a kid being in that situation. It's a lot, and yeah, for me, it definitely played into some things. And that room, like I said, the room, her. And thank you, Damian, because because I process so much of everything else that I totally forget about her. You know what I'm saying, about when they actually showed her in her mouth. It was like, yeah, it's like so much else still goes on, and it's just like, yeah, and like not even to mention that it's as another just weird thing. I mean, it's like, yeah, to me, yeah, that movie disturbed me more. It could have been brutal. It could have been right in your face and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But just this whole weirdness about it, and just this whole weirdly menacing, and just almost playing with them like they're little, you know what I'm saying, like they're little pets in a, you know what I'm saying, in an aquarium or something like that. It was just weird, you know.
And then just that unrelenting, just something is deeply, deeply wrong here, and I don't know what, but something is seriously, seriously wrong.
Yeah, I mean that room lets you know that this is not just some thing, you know, really. I mean, if the toilet's being missing, the door's being shifted and moved, and you know what I'm saying, different, to expand this room to make it look like some other place, you know, and everything like that, it's just insanity. I could not imagine a little guy who's only 1 year away from being the youngest character in that movie. I couldn't imagine what he'd be going through seeing the shit that they experienced in that damn movie. Seriously.
Yeah, like
Like that.
you imagine it now, but yeah, take yourself back to that age. It's unfathomable. Unfathomable. I did it.
It sound like a You sound like a tape recorder slowing. It's like a tape slowing down. Unfathomable.
Unfathomable.
It's like it kind of gets over
You
that.
know, for a second there, you actually kind of sounded like Sylvester Stallone with a speech impediment.
Believe it's unfathomable. You kids, use camera. What's going on? I can't believe it.
Oh my god! I gotta say, Jim Carrey doing Rocky fighting Grace Jones on In Living Color was probably one of the funniest things.
That was
Oh.
gold.
I vaguely remember that. Saw it years ago, but I vaguely remember that.
My God, Jim
I've never
Carrey.
seen an episode of that show, but I've seen a million clips, and so far, I think pretty much like 99% success rate. There's been very little I can think of where I was like, yeah, that sucked.
See,
Yeah.
because the tone of Jim Carrey set as like It's like one of the few. Like I think he was like basically it was only him representing the white males, and then it was like Kelly Caulfield representing the white females. And then when they first started out, those were like the only two white people that was on the show completely when they first started. So he was like the male representation, she was the female representation, and he would do a lot of like he would do that. He would do like he was the guy that would not mind attacking like like white, you know what I'm saying, like the white colleagues in entertainment, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like, you know, he get out there and he'll like his Vanilla Ice impression. Oh my god.
Sure, I saw it. I just can't remember it.
Oh my god. Are you serious, guys? You have never seen the Vanilla Ice impression?
Like I probably have, but
Oh my god. Yes, and see, and YouTube is undefeated when it comes to knowing exactly what you're going up there for. Like they know exactly what you're coming up there for when you're looking for Jim Carrey on YouTube.
I'm a licensed dermatology provider from Curology. Answer a few questions.
Okay, give us a second because I mean, come on, man, we have got to go here because we're just about done with Skinamarink, and I appreciate you guys for giving it a chance. And you know, I know I know it was an undertaking.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I actually decided to go back and try to finish it.
me too. I thought for sure you would. Like when you said you were done, you were done.
Yeah. But no, I looked at the time this morning. I was like, yeah, I got time to finish it. I might as well get it
A
done.
VJ encompasses so many talents. Like I could, I couldn't do that. I could, no,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that either. I could, hands up, oh, good. Look, here's our next video.
Okay. Or we can do this.
Yo, VIP, let's kick it. All right, stop. While I do up my laces, this kind of thing happens every show. Yo, I gotta learn how to tie a bow.
What's your real name?
Robert Van Winkle.
Where did you change it?
Nothing rhymes with Winkle. Pump, pump, pump. Oh yeah. I'm white, and I'm capitalizing on a trend that's currently rising. Mix it with Curly and Larry and Moe. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hey yo,
When's it gonna stop?
maybe never. I become richer with every endeavor. I'm living large and my bank is stupid, cause I just listen to real rap and stupid.
He's white, baby. So white, baby. Extremely white, baby.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
Go Vanilla Ice, work it out.
I told the world I was stabbed in the butt, but it was a toilet paper cut. Yow!
He's white, baby. What is he? White, baby.
I'm telling you, man.
This dude is white,
How you think Vanilla Ice was feeling right? I feel like this was seeing this right here.
white, baby. He's just
Not sure. I feel like you probably had a good sense of feeling about it, but
talking white.
at that time, maybe not. I don't know.
Hey
And
guys,
have you ever
what's up?
have you guys ever heard of a rap group called The
Yo.
Far Side?
I ain't stupid.
Well, who?
I just
The Far
stupid. Word to your mother.
Think so?
She keeps on passing me by. They had this song that was really big back in the day.
I feel like yes, but I'm not sure.
But if you ever do, they were the background dancers at that, you know, so at that point during that skit, during that whole bit there.
He was successfully
Drinking warm
sued
water
for
before
stealing the under pressure bass line, right?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Or should we Should we do? Is there some way better to go with? No,
Well,
no, no. Yeah, okay, that works. All right, but yeah, they, I was watching a video on that. I mean, yeah, because you know,
suppose like his defense was like, no, that this goes dun 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 dun. Mine goes dun 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 dun. All right.
no, then boom, 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 dun 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 boom. Yeah, but I'm just saying he
Like
also.
of all the things in history where it's like, there's been a lot of like plagiarism cases where you're like, yeah, like some music's just gonna sound similar. That one's just straight up just like, you know what you did.
He also attacks Snow. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He was this white artist from Canada that was doing reggae and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were gonna say white artist from Jamaica, and I was just thinking Michael Scott when he came back from Sandals, Jamaica in the office. He had the
Nope.
steel drum.
Oh my God, no.
Oh no.
But yeah,
Did he actually do that?
He did.
Oh no.
but yeah,
He played the shit out of the steel drum until I don't know, someone like just like kicked it into oblivion because it was sick of it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Morning, V. What's cracking?
Yeah, morning, B.
Where'd Stone go?
No idea. All right. Let's see. So
Did you ever see
wanna
Cool as Ice, the Vanilla Ice movie?
Cool as Ice, the Vanilla Ice movie? I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's something. I want to say his only starring vehicle, where he basically just plays himself, not named himself.
That's pretty
Yeah.
typical. Kind of reminds me of that time when Shaquille O'Neal played the genie.
Yeah.
Was that
No.
Kazam or was that Shazam?
Yeah.
I think it was Kazam.
Trying to remember because there's that Mandela Effect movie with Sinbad, which I swear existed, but apparently it doesn't.
Oh my god. Fucking Mandela effect.
It's creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Things you're like, no, that definitely existed. Unless that's this whole big fucking, you call it psyop or whatever, for whatever ends. A lot of these
Yeah,
things did not exist or weren't as you remember.
Yeah, it's like the fucking Berenstein Bears or the Berenstein Bears. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember them being the Berenstein Bears.
See, I don't remember either, but that's just it wasn't a thing here, or it's just something that
It's
wasn't part
probably
of my
because you
childhood.
guys didn't have that over where you're at. But
I'm gonna say yeah, but yeah, it could be
Yeah,
just one of those things I missed.
yeah, but no, here we called them the Berenstein Bears. But no,
He's right. What's cracking? Reality, exactly.
Yeah, but no, I
It
have
is real.
I've gotten into arguments with people about whether or not they've been Berenstein Bears or Berenstein Bears. Like they've almost evolved into fist fights.
No, fuck you. No, fuck you.
Yeah.
Dancing around each other like old timey pugilists.
Yeah, it's like the fucking handlebar mustaches and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dane, Steen, I'll fight you, sir.
We'll get into about the fisticuffs, sir. Oh boy.
Yeah, were we talking
Oh
about
yeah,
this on a
that
show at some
dude,
point not
Fruit of
long
the
ago?
Loom logo. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
I don't know if it was a Telegram chat or if we talked about this with Jim on a show like a while back.
Yeah.
But I remember this coming up, and like there's actually like proof. So it's what's going on?
Yeah, I know.
And
Mandela effect is fucked up, dude. It's just, oh man.
if they are taking these things away that did exist, why?
Yeah.
What's the goal there? Or is it
It's
just to
proof that
make
it's
just
either
to make you
proof that we
unsure
live
of
in a
everything?
simulation or it's proof we live in an alternate reality.
Just rewriting the simulation.
Yep.
Like I haven't seen the lady in a red dress in a while. What
Nope.
happened?
Bye. Ah. All right. Well, while we wait for Stone to come back, do you want to jump right into the slasher?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. All right. So, how about that opening?
That opening scene was great.
Oh, welcome
Yeah,
back.
perfect timing.
We're jumping
Just
into
about to talk about
slasher
fun.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just let me do it like this a little bit, real quick, just in case. Um, well, folks, the scenario starts like this because they're installments, not continuations. So this particular installment is about the executioner.
Yeah.
So a Halloween night happens. You just seem like a regular Halloween night. The
Yeah.
guy's giving out candy to the kids. He's dressed as a cowboy, I think,
Yes, a
if I
Yeah.
cowboy.
remember correctly. And
A cowboy with a scarf.
well, bandana. They usually have those. Charles, you gotta watch a lot of more movies. Okay, but it tracks anyway. I'm just saying. You
The
could look at
wife
this.
specifically called it a scarf.
She's a woman. They're supposed to. But anyway, but but um, but then basically somebody comes in somebody comes in with this outfit. Not only do they come in with this outfit, very menacing, but the guy seems like he's familiar with this guy, even though he's not
He's,
really
he's,
saying much.
he's expecting he's expecting his friend. He's like, oh, this is clearly my friend.
Yeah, but clearly not wearing the outfit, not wearing the costume that he said he was going to wear. You
No,
know,
not at
although
all.
and that's not strange to him. And then, of course, if you guys hadn't mentioned it, in case you guys may have mentioned it, I don't know when you started out, but of course,
No, we haven't
once he,
talked about anything at all, really.
once he realizes, or of course he realizes that it's not him when his actual friend dressed in the costume that he said he was going to dress in, I believe King Arthur, I believe, and he realizes what the hell's going on with that, then that's when the chaos starts.
But he's
You know?
still not weirded out. He's sort of looking at the guy, and he's looking at his friend, and then it's just sort of like, what's the deal with this guy then? It's like, how are you not like, holy shit, this might be real bad. Like I just let a stranger into my house dressed like an absolute psychopath. I know it's Halloween, but would you not be a little bit just like, hey, who the fuck are you?
I mean, of course, but you just when we start to find out about the nature and the disposition of the saying of this couple or this formerly alive couple, you start to realize some things about them, but then the guy just kind of runs off. He doesn't actually kill King Arthur and whatnot. And then of course, I mean, we didn't think it would go there because the woman's pregnant, but it even went there. So, and then that's the center stage that leads us to this installment of Slasher, where we're dealing with, the, like I said, I definitely dug, I believe it was Sarah McGrath, right? Or am I Megan?
Katie
Sure, Ben.
McGrath.
Katie. Okay. Katie McGrath. But, again,
I'll be back in a
gorgeous,
second.
Mm.
gorgeous, giving me hope, letting me know what I always knew, that she dug black guys. Mm-mm. Goes without saying that was good news. was definitely good news for me.
Somebody's got a crush.
Somebody's being weird.
Oh, okay.
We're not in high school. I am a grown perv.
Okay.
You know it, man.
All right, fine.
Perfect
All right,
delivery.
fine. You think Katie McGrath is attractive? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to marry Katie. I
I
want
am a
to.
grown perv.
Yes.
Look, I think Katie McGrath is attractive too. I do. I think she's attractive as well. But
Her constant resting either bitch or derp face annoyed me though.
I will
She was-
admit she does actually have that face.
Like
she's
constantly.
always-
She's either like
she's always
derp
had
or
that face. She's always had that face since I first came across her as an actress in the BBC show Merlin.
Oh yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah, she played Morgan Le Fay in that show. Yep. And she wasn't bad in that show. She was pretty good.
But
I don't know if she was bad in this, but her character just annoyed the shit out of me.
I mean, of
The
course,
whole way through. The entire way through.
But
And
see,
just got worse.
But you have to understand, and I think you'll get that. But you have to understand, I think you'll get this. And when you get to the second installment, is that what this is like they play into different slasher elements from different slasher movies that we.
They also dealt with different slasher tropes, like what they did in. I'm jumping ahead here, but what they did in episode 8, where she literally tripped over nothing when she was being chased by the killer.
I mean, that's just. That's.
Like, she gets a splash on the arm. It's a flesh wound, and her whole body ceases to function properly.
It's like he slashed into like one of her tendons that affects the function of her entire body.
Although now that I think about it, in her defense, she did have her knee fucked up by a tire iron. So,
yeah.
But then I don't know how long ago that was, because the timeline in the show is weird.
It is.
It jumped like 3 months in the space of an episode or so.
Yeah.
But overall, what we're dealing with is, just that particular like, because I mean, there's a lot of movies based on a whole thing of where like some young girl is connected in some weird way, to a killer's rampage some time ago, whether they were too young to even remember it, or as in her case, not even quite there yet.
Yeah, not old enough to remember anything.
And so it was like, so okay. So what do we think about? So while we're analyzing this stuff, what do we think about the coming back thing? What is usually the purpose of the coming back?
Coming back to the town?
Yeah.
You mean from her perspective, like from her, what's her motive?
Either from her perspective or this particular slasher movie perspective. What is like it? So do you feel like there's no common thread in the coming back home, aspect of these kind of movies?
It's usually, at least on some surface level, this I need to face my trauma, or I need the truth. Some kind of thing like that, where it's like,
I got the impression
all, but
I got the impression that there was really no real purpose for her to return home.
Well,
aside from spending way too many hours watching her parents' sex tapes.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Which is creepy on a whole other level.
I believe that she was possibly manipulated by her husband.
I was wondering that.
To come back to the town. I believe, what I'm saying, I believe that was a part. I believe that was a big part of it because of what we find out about him, later on in the episodes.
Mm.
So
I mean, like even though there's a possibility that he manipulated her into coming back home, there was no real growth for her character, at least from what I gathered, as the show progressed. Like there really wasn't. Like
Not really. I think if
not.
anything, I swear she just got dumber as the show went on.
Yeah, it's
you
just.
would say that? I mean, I felt okay. I felt like I truly felt like, okay, look, she she had to detach from the fact that, because again, there wasn't much connection at all to begin with because they were dead before she was even born. It kind of happened in that whole way. She was pretty much close to it and whatnot, which is why I guess she survived. But well, and of course he wasn't trying to kill her, also, and everything like that. So because of what he, of course, would believe and get confirmed, of course.
Which did you call that early too?
I mean, again, because I would say, see, I would say my takeaway from these installments, it's more about trying to figure out who did it, who, what I'm saying. Well, it wasn't even really trying to figure out. Well, okay, it is. Let me start back again. It is still finding out who did it because there was a new executioner that's now taking out people, now. So it was about finding out who did it, and everything else was more about the typical connections in movies like this. So yeah, I kind of felt like it could have went there because what I'm saying, it could have went there. That once, that especially if he was finding once you started realizing that at some point they were romantically involved. I guess, well, as we found out, it wasn't really all that romantic, only for him. It was only romantic for him. But
He's one of those dummies who says "I love you" to a prostitute, basically.
he never paid her. It just wasn't that.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But you're making him seem like a
He,
John or a
he
real
paid
simp
her with a chunk of his soul,
because
unwillingly.
and
She'd
when
have
they
to
do
cook that with her.
and when they do that, because he thinks that they're going to be together, so I'll sacrifice a bit of my credibility because she loves me. He didn't know that she was around there.
Fucking
You
everyone
know,
in town.
because she was hustling dick, or porn, as it were. You know, he had no idea that she was using that she was using the community's dicks to basically make money. Her and her husband. It
To
just
make what looked to be pretty well shot amateur porn. Like didn't look terrible. She was attractive enough.
I'm just saying, like, wow. But I mean, so once we realize we're there, yeah, I realized that, yeah, it could have went in that direction, you know, because it's not because that wasn't the big mystery, that wasn't the big reveal. The whole reveal is like who's doing this and why, you know, and everything like that. But I mean, so okay, question, folks, question, guys. Do you really think that he got with her and married her and all that simply because of his, his obsession with trying to gain access to this guy?
No, I believe him when he said that's how they met. That's why they met. But I do believe him when he said that's not why we're together now. To a point, he's definitely a very self-serving guy. He's
Yeah,
definitely very career focused.
yeah.
But I do believe he genuinely does love the woman. He's just kind
After
of a
seeing
piece of shit.
Dylan absolutely is a piece of shit, especially after seeing his behavior at the newspaper.
What you mean? What?
Well, I mean, he was putting his career before his marriage.
And when
Well,
his boss was fucking was deep fried, he was basically just like, "Oh well, it's my job now.
Yeah,
I run
pretty
this bit."
much. He didn't really feel a whole lot of remorse for Allison's death.
well, I mean, she really put. I mean, she really hung herself out there on a, you know what I'm saying, on a really thin string. You know, if you ask me though.
Oh yeah, she was like,
Allison did put herself into that position. She put herself into the executioner's line of sight. She did. But
knowing that she had something that he could use as justification.
yes. But after she died, Dylan swooped right in. Barely any time had passed, and Dylan swooped right in
Well,
and took over the newspaper.
I get that part because like someone had to do it, and he's, you know, he would be the guy being like second in charge. But
Yeah.
it was his just attitude, like, she's dead. Yeah. Who gives a fuck, really? I don't care.
Yeah.
I barely knew her.
That's really you guys take away from that.
Yeah,
it felt very cold.
He didn't express any like condolences or anything. Nothing. He was like, "Yeah, whatever. She's dead. Moving on." That's what it was. That's what I got from that.
And then again, we don't know how long it's been either. I guess I'll give him that because, as I said before, like when Cam's wife is killed, then like the next episode, his father's just like, I thought you'd still be hurting. He's like, that was 3 months ago. It's like, really? It was? When did this happen? Seems like it was 2 days ago. Like, I don't know the timeline of this show. I have no idea. It might have been a year and a half.
Let me try to see what it was.
That's really the only indication I can think of they give of time, but it's a significant.
It was a lot of things being prefaced, you know what I'm saying, at that point, because a lot of it was of course a process and everything like that, and because we've seen the process where she was going into it, where she was going into the space that would be like the gallery and everything like that, and how, you know what I'm saying, and the certain ebbs and flows of that, like when she first started out and the woman was like all upset because that used to be where her store used to be or whatever and everything like that, and that whole process. And so it just, it wasn't just a whole thing. At least I felt like it wasn't a whole thing of this whole thing just kind of happened within a week, because that's just,
Yeah, it was just weird because like I don't know, because the way it was, I kind of figured just by the way they were playing things, it seemed like things pretty much were happening fairly close together. And then that 3 month thing, I was just like, 3 months,
because you have a lot going on.
It's not been 2 weeks. It's been 3 months.
But you have to believe we had a lot going on, because I mean, we even have the chief of police and the shit that he was into that was complicating matters.
That was wild. I didn't expect that. I knew he had some shit going on, but damn.
So this town had a lot going on. You can't, like, to have all of that going on within a week or two's time. Like, it can't be. That's super weird, man. Like, to have all of that going on. I mean, and the fact that they were dealing with, for the last little while, the girl's abduction and everything like that. So they're kind of dealing with that, and the investigation that they feel like is being slowed down because of the chief of police for some reason, which is why she suspected him at one point, because basically, it just seemed like either he's inept or he's trying to slow down the investigation on purpose. So there was a lot of things leading into that, the stories, and because that's the whole thing with, I think a lot of things kind of I think kind of set a tone to it. Like when they're running the newspaper, and there's this whole thing of how we're going to run the story and how we're going to move with this and investigate this and do that. You know, so you got to feel like that's going over a process of, you know what I'm saying, of weeks here. You know what I'm saying? Because they're having these meetings, they're going and doing these interviews and everything like that. And they're setting up meetings. She's setting up meetings with the executioner and everything like that. And, you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot going on in the timeline that just that make you feel like there's no way all this is happening within a week or two time. At least my takeaway.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't really think about it until that comment. I was like, oh fuck, I have no idea how long it's been then. I like the kind of Hannibal Lecter thing they did with Tom Winston early on. Budget Brad Dourif.
Really? I say
I didn't get that impression from him. He doesn't. Well, not the Hannibal Lecter part. That I did get that, but the budget Brad Dourif, really?
I just couldn't help but think, like, I wish it was Brad Dourif. It just, I don't know, he gave me that vibe. I'm not saying the guy wasn't good, it just wasn't Brad Dourif.
I don't know. We just don't need crazy preacher. You know what I'm saying? We didn't need, everything was crazy enough. We didn't need crazy preacher too. And he would just be looking crazy up there trying to preach. I don't know. But it would be a younger version.
Are we going back to his roots of him playing the preacher from Deadwood?
He was a doctor in Deadwood.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't the preacher in Deadwood. Okay.
No, the preacher was the other guy. The
guy
who
that
eventually. What did he get? He had like some kind of.
He had a brain tumor.
Yeah, brain tumor. That's it.
He had a brain tumor.
Yeah.
It was not a tumor. Oh, it really was a tumor.
Yeah. You see, that whole line saying it's not a tumor, I don't understand the context of that entire scene because I've never seen it. I only know the quote.
Because one of the kids says, you have no, that wasn't Billy Madison. But they asked him what was wrong, and he was like, he has a headache and whatnot. And I'm a young Journey Smollett has theorized that it was possibly a tumor. You know?
Oh, I thought it was referencing like one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's muscles or something.
No.
Okay.
You've never seen Kindergarten Cop?
Nope, never seen it.
I loved that movie as a kid. I haven't seen it since then, but I feel like it would probably hold up.
It's not a tricep. No, he wasn't saying that, Charles.
Okay, well, I don't know. It's just I've never seen the movie. Okay, I'll watch it at some point. Yes, I realize there is a lot of classic movies I have never seen.
Yeah, but the kids
were Lost Action Hero, though, right?
Huh? What?
Lost Action Hero.
Once I've seen it once, and
as long as you've seen it once.
Yeah, I've seen it once. I saw it a long, long time ago, and I remember enjoying it.
But the kids were overanalyzing him, and he was just getting all. I think he might have been drinking the night before, and you know what I'm saying, he was coming in there, thought he could just kind of come in there in the morning, and he was feeling it, and they were just overanalyzing and everything like that, and that's when all the questions they were asking and all their theories, like maybe it's a tumor, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's not a tumor.
Okay, so now that scene makes sense. Because
it's one of the first examples I can ever think of seeing where it mixes like fairly lighthearted comedy with some like darker shit.
Hell, another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie I need to see is Commando because I've never seen that
one either. Commando's so good.
Yeah. Even though I am familiar with the scene where he's holding the guy by his ankle and it says, "Do you remember when I said I was going to kill you last?" It's like, yeah, you did. I lied. And then he drops him. Yeah. So
but he was the pioneer. He was the pioneer of the of that type of shit. It's like when he was going back to the car, and she was like, "Where's Sully?" He was like, "Oh, I let him go."
It was Sully.
Oh yeah, he definitely let him go.
I always think it's Benny. I don't know why. I always think it's Benny. There's a Benny in that movie too, right? I swear there's a Benny.
Possibly. What's
Yeah.
up?
It could be another Schwarzenegger movie though.
Possibly.
I just kind of think of him saying like, "I like you, Benny. You're funny," and then he beats the shit out of him, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, back in the day. And then another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that I've seen is what was it? The Sixth Day, I think is what it was called.
Oh, the clone.
Yeah, with the cloning. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that movie once, and I remember enjoying it. I thought it was a strange movie, but I thought it was okay.
yeah, and the twist is pretty good. I like the twist.
Yeah.
But
And
what I
then
didn't like was the creepy, like human, like the creepy live, like sex doll, human-ish sex doll thing. That was creepy.
I don't remember that.
Be happy. Creepy.
Yeah.
Like in
But
a movie where clones exist, it's like, why is this a thing?
yeah, and Eraser, I saw that, but I've only ever seen Eraser once.
Yeah, same. I don't really remember that one all that much.
Yeah, and then I saw True Lies because everybody's seen True Lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the DVD.
I mean, come on, we all remember the scene with Jamie Lee Curtis.
My goodness, man. Okay? Look, trading places wasn't good enough for you. You had to. We had to see more.
Hey, to quote someone I know, we're not in high school. I'm a grown-up perv. Can't remember who said that, but wise words.
You know. But anyways,
But hey, one of my favorite scenes in that movie is actually at the end of the movie where he says, "You're fired," and then he fires the missile, and then he gets blown up in the helicopter. Yeah, I love that scene. I love that line. I love it so much. Makes me giggle every time I see it.
no. Okay, well, no. I have to go back to Commando and top you, and go back to
Okay.
Commando. Like when he was getting on the plane to try to go, supposedly to go and do that hit on the guy that he just put in power, and he ended up snapping. You know what I'm saying? The one guy's neck on the plane, and asking for a pillow, and a blanket. He's like, and please do not bother my friend over here. He's dead tired.
Ha, I remember that. Yeah, I saw a clip of it. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Man, movies back then were so quotable.
But you know,
You don't really get that much anymore.
You really don't.
Usually attempted quips these days are just like, ew, that fell flat.
Yep.
I won't be remembering that 20 minutes from now,
like I
let
remember
alone
in
3 decades.
I remember in Mark for Death though. Mark for Death. Like I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes he seemed psycho with his shit though. But Steven Seagal. But it was like the one guy, Jimmy Fingers, thought he was gonna try to pull out a gun and kill Steven Seagal and got shot in the head. And the other guy ended up, jumping out the window rather than tell him anything about Screwface. And he came downstairs and he was like, what happened? I think Keith David was in the car because always that's so weird in Hollywood. Keith David, David Keith, two different guys. You know what I'm saying? But reversible names. It's funny, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so David Keith is in. You know what I'm saying? No, damn it, Keith David is in the car because because if you ever see a movie, I'm telling you, you're looking for David Keith and you see there's a black guy in there. Then I'm like, okay, but anyway, Keith David is in the car and he's asking what happened. And then Steven Seagal was like, one guy thought he was invincible, the other guy thought he could fly. He was like, well, they were both wrong. And they started driving off. And that was it. I was like, my God. I'm sorry. That was one of the funny lines of me, man. I'm sorry. I just, or like in that last part of that movie when he killed, you know, so when he killed the twin brother and shot that threw him down the elevator shaft. He was like, I hope there aren't triplets. I'm sorry, that shit was funny to me. I'm sorry. That shit was just hilarious to me.
It was always, yeah, like, sometimes even back then, like, sometimes the lines weren't even that good, but they were delivered in, like, they had the right people to deliver them. To just make them, like, iconic. Like, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, delivered by a lesser person, that'd be an okay line. But when you get a Schwarzenegger or someone like that doing it, you can get gold out of almost nothing.
He was like, oh yeah, like you guys see the Running Man?
Yeah.
Probably more
Oh,
classic shit.
I have not. No.
But do you remember that classic shit where he, you know, what I'm saying where he finally got to Killian, and he put him he put him in that goddamn thing, and he put him in that contraption was gonna send him down that tube,
I remember that scene, yeah.
and he was like, "Go to hell."
I don't remember the line now, but that's one I've been wanting to get back to for fucking years.
But Killian
That
was
and
like,
Red Heat. I haven't seen Red Heat in forever.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. Really obnoxious. Lawrence Fishburne in that movie is weird. But anyway,
Would have been Larry Fishburne at that point, right?
possibly. But yeah, Killian was like, "Go to hell," and Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, "I don't do requests." I'm sorry, that shit was just classic to me. But all right. But I guess we gotta get while we're doing just like tremendous timing here, I guess. Get back to
Efficient.
well, you know, efficient planning, I guess. But let me see. I mean, but we're doing pretty good with this show too. Let's be honest right now. Let's be honest right now. Did you suspect who ended up being the killer?
Yes.
I don't know if I did.
Pretty. I want to say around somewhere either before or around the midway point.
I figured it out by episode 3.
Yeah, probably somewhere. Yeah, around that.
Really? How?
It's just
it was the
too-
scene where Katie was not Katie, that's her real name. Sarah was in her house by herself. Dylan was at work,
Dear
and
lad.
the killer was in her house taunting her, chasing her around the house, and Katie was running around trying to escape. She managed to get free. She hid in the closet. The killer walked up to the closet and was staring right at her through the door and banging on the closet door, not trying to get in. So that gave me the impression that he was not trying to kill her. He was trying to scare her.
Okay.
Then he walked away, and then less than a minute later, Cam showed up, and I'm like, okay, that's suspicious.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. But see, that's what I'm talking about, though. If we really feel strongly on that level, but that's a little bit, and that's why I was. But see, when I was locked in, I wasn't trying to think on that level. It just felt like I passed it off because that's a little bit Scream-esque, don't you think?
To me, it wasn't
I don't know,
that.
it's just
It was
at that
the Cam
point,
was.
I was
I
like,
thought Cam was too
it was
nice.
suspicious for me.
Huh?
To me, I didn't know. That's not what I picked up on. I picked on it just Cam was too. They're making him out to be too much of the pure nice guy. Where everyone else, like there was at least a seed of something they were sort of hinting at or whatever. He had
I mean,
nothing, and I was
his
just
wife-
like, that by itself is suspicious to me.
His wife cheating on him was definitely a chink in that armor.
Well, yeah, but that's that's her, not him.
I mean,
And that
yeah,
came
it's her
later.
it's her cheating, but like it or not, even though we try our best not to say shit like that, like it or not, it's a knock on him. It's a little bit of a knock on him. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna wonder why it, you know what I'm saying, it happened the way it happened. You know, regardless. Somebody's gonna wonder why, you know what I'm saying? Because and that's the thing. You look at Cam, guy looks like he works out, State of Shady, he's a cop, you know what I'm saying? He seems like a hero guy. Like, why would she, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
But
the guy,
that came later, though. That was after I had my suspicions. At this point, like, yeah, when I sort of started thinking that, this was before all that came out.
but see, that's the whole thing, and that
Because pretty much in the first like 2 episodes, they showed you like that the chief of police is like, you know, banging prostitutes, and there was all these other various things that they at least hinted at or showed you pretty much. Whereas him, he still had nothing. I was like,
because see, I think, but that's the and I know, and I didn't want to reach too hard for it because then you get you get spun in another way, and all of a sudden the reveal really just drops you on your head because it's like, damn, you really didn't. That didn't occur to me, so I tried to stay away from it. I felt like they were playing into like this type of like this. It was an homage to this type of horror movie and everything like that. The coming back home, finding the truth. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find the true connection. You know what I'm saying? Things like that and all this type of stuff. That type of movie. It was sort of like a love letter to all those type of movies and whatnot. Like
I still wasn't sure by any means. Like, and I thought they did a good job of like sort of they did a good job of some misdirects as the show went on.
I would have said so because I have to be honest with you. I pretty much like, even though like I pretty much suspected the dad.
Yeah, that was my like. I was like, if it's got to be one of the two was my thought because they were trying to push Dylan pretty hard a few times, or at least some pretty hard hints. But I was like,
Cam was trying to push Dylan a few times. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, Cam was trying to push Dylan as a killer.
It was him, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, they sort of did it a couple times, like, you know, like
Cam was planting evidence. Cam was planting evidence. Cam was the one leading the charge into the newspaper to arrest them. Cam was, you know what I'm saying? Cam was the one that was pushing the narrative. That
I mean,
that
like
he,
even earlier than that, though, they sort of like what was it when that kid sort of first disappears? Which I still don't really know what the point of that was exactly.
What do you mean?
You know, that kid. Like, was it in the first episode? I think where that kid, like, where the executioner takes the kid and like buries him, and then he's not actually dead. You know, like, because you got like the kids that are causing trouble in the street, and Dylan gets all up in arms and like threatens them, and then he stays out to make sure they go home or make sure they leave or whatever. She goes home. I think that's when she gets attacked by the executioner. But yeah, they they used that as a way to hint that, like, oh, you know, we haven't seen Dylan. He's staying out doing this supposed thing. Like, you know, they sort of caused a bit of suspicion there. There was a couple sort of things like that. But yeah, I'm just thinking about it. I don't know what the point of that whole little thing with the kid was.
That's probably why it's not registering.
Because that couple didn't get killed either, did they? Like that couple that was banging in the woods, or was about to bang in the woods, and then he, you know, came up out of the ground.
No, nothing happened to that couple.
Yeah, I really don't know what the point
I'm
of
also
that was.
disappointed that after that kid was discovered, they never went further into that. Like that.
No,
like that,
like,
we never
what
saw
was
any
that
more
for?
of that kid. Yeah, that was the last time we saw that kid. Like, the kid was mentioned one more time, but then that was it. Nothing more.
Yeah, I can't think of any significance that has, other than just being like.
And maybe that's why it's not maybe that's why it's not registering for me either, because
No, but it was such like a brief but seemingly significant thing, but it wasn't at all.
It really wasn't. It felt pointless.
Yeah. Hmm. I,
Yeah,
'Cause I don't think he wasn't related to any of the main characters. It was just some kid.
it was just some random kid. I don't even think the kid had a name.
No, I don't think so.
It was
Maybe
just
one of his friends offhandedly mentioned it. Maybe, but
it was probably asshole kid number 4.
yeah,
Yeah,
dickhead McFuckface.
yeah.
trying to
No,
think.
yeah, I completely forgot about that too until just now. Like I don't know what that was for because it has nothing to do with what the execution is doing either.
Yeah.
Unless that's just like I you could kind of see it as an example of him just sort of like losing his shit, but yeah, no, I don't get it.
Well, I mean, it could maybe promote him having limitations where he will punish people who do heinous crimes, but he won't kill kids.
I guess like because that would have been was that before any of the new killings? No, that
Um,
actually no, that would have been no. I know what it was because I think that happened at the same time the first woman was killed, or roughly ish.
the
Hmm.
first killing was
Something Dana McBride, I think her name was
Verna McBride.
Vernon McBride.
Yeah, that was the first killing.
Because I think that was when Katie went home and he stayed out, and she heard her screaming. That really confuses me. What the fuck was that? Because it's not
Yeah,
like, oh, I'll do this and I'll scare the town up a little bit. It's like you've got plenty of work to do that's going to do that.
yeah. And you know, there is a missed opportunity that this show had committed. I expected at multiple times on this show that they might have suspected not Katie, Sarah from being guilty of some of the crimes. That she might have been the one doing the killings.
Yeah, which the only time that was ever addressed was when she went to Cam and was like, I think it's your dad. And he's like, well, maybe it's you. And she's like, oh, me. That was the only time that came up.
You know what I thought of in that scene? It's the scene from the Pee Wee Herman movie where they go back and forth and say, "I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?"
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got from that.
Excuse me 1 second, fellows.
Yeah,
Yeah, no problem. But I did, like, there wasn't really, I mean, there was some attempts at comedy, but nothing that I actually found funny until, what was the Indian cop's name? Uh,
I
I
don't
want to
even
say
remember.
Shwama, but it's,
It started with an S. I know
like
that much.
Shama. So like he gets choked out in like I think the second episode or so when he's meant to be protecting Sarah. And then he gets choked out again by Tom Winston later on. And he walks into the room where Cam's handcuffed to the radiator and he goes, did you get choked out again? And he's like, yeah. It was God's sake, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, first time he got choked out was actually by
By Cam. Spoiler.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Yes, yes, but no, we were gonna get to it eventually, but
Yeah.
yeah. But seriously, man, it's just like You know, I didn't like. Look, I enjoyed the show, but I'm beginning to see the flaws. There were more flaws than I thought. Ugh.
And it felt a lot more broadcast TV than I expected.
Yeah.
Like, didn't necessarily need more violence. I thought the kills were all done pretty well, but I did expect it to be just a little. I don't know. It just seemed cheaper than I anticipated,
Yeah, I got that impression as well.
and very Canadian, which makes sense because it was filmed in Canada, so there probably were a lot of Canadians.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there was a lot of it did kind of give me that Canadian television feel.
And I'm guessing she's English or something.
Irish.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Irish,
she's
okay.
Irish. Yeah.
Because yeah, her accent was going in and out all the time.
Yeah, I had to look it up, and yeah, she is 100% Irish.
Irish, okay.
Yeah.
She was like, she's definitely not American, that's for sure.
Yep.
Just don't hit things the same way sometimes. Well,
Yeah.
oftentimes.
I've listened to her with an English accent, and I gotta admit, not even that fucking works.
No.
No. She was even in the first Jurassic World movie.
Really?
Briefly.
Who was she in that?
She played the executive assistant of Bryce Dallas Howard's character, and she gets killed in the movie.
I was gonna say, yeah, she wasn't in it long.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
gets killed, and she gets eaten by that giant like dinosaur that's in the water enclosure. She gets picked up by one of the flying dinosaurs. She gets flown over the water enclosure, and then the giant like crocodile like dinosaur comes up and chomps down on top of her and eats her.
That was pretty much like as soon as everything started going to shit, right?
Yes, that's like
Yeah.
right as everything starts happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, look, real quick sidebar. Back to the music thing again. Fun fact that I found out recently. I don't
Yep.
know if you guys knew or not. But you guys are aware of Gigi Allen, right?
Of course.
No, I'm not.
Not aware of Gigi Allen. Okay, wow.
Nope.
Well,
I went
please
to
look
see
at-
I went to see his band without Gigi Allen. It was like the surviving members of his band had a band. I can't remember what they were called, but I went to see them at one point, and the the drummer, who was Gigi Allen's drummer, ended the show by putting a drumstick up his asshole.
And the fun fact that I found out
Moving on.
was his real name.
I know this. Continue.
Do you know it?
I do know it, but it's not coming to me.
Really? Let's see if this is what you're expecting. Jesus Christ.
Maybe I didn't know it. You sure?
That's what they say his real name is.
Okay, I was thinking, not that. Oh. Well,
I definitely wouldn't have thought like maybe it's something people to think about. Like, don't go naming your kids something like that. You know, for them to say for something as a measuring stick, because God, to think about what Gigi Allen became, and his real name was Jesus Christ.
it's just like, so we all know what happened with the second coming. Well, what was the third coming? Well, he was throwing shit on stage and bleeding all over the place and fist fighting with crowd members. Things didn't go well for Jesus in the later years.
Like, I just thought that was just such a
Doing
random,
a lot of heroin.
like it was really weird and random that his name would be Jesus Christ.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I just thought I'd put that out there because I'm just like, I wonder if anybody else like that's like I'm pretty sure. I almost wondered, damn, I wish I had Jim up here where I could have remembered to ask him about that, to see if he knew because he knows a lot about Gigi Allen. So I wonder if he knew that his real name was Jesus Christ.
Did you ever see the documentary Hated?
No.
It was a documentary about Gigi by Todd Phillips, the guy who made uh, old school Hangover, Joker, and whatnot. Where he just spent some like a few months or whatever with Gigi. Really cool documentary.
If they ever did a Queen, Elton John type bio movie, who would dare to play Gigi Allen?
That's a very good question.
Would it be up to Danny McBride?
I have to
Danny
look up
McBride is Gigi Allen?
Is this Gigi?
No,
No,
GG.
like
GG.
two G's, like the letter G, yeah.
Gigi Allen.
And Allen with an I.
ALLIN, yeah. That's a good question.
Is it up to Danny? Is it? I mean,
No, I love Danny McBride, but no, not Danny McBride. It's Gigi Allen. That's ridiculous.
Really, it's as ridiculous as Gigi Allen's career was sometimes.
It's probably on par, really. Like, can you picture Danny McBride at about at least half the weight of what he is with a shaved head?
He would have to, he would have to go Christian Bale for sure.
He would have to go almost like machinist level Christian Bale.
Yeah, he would have to. He would have to really, or when he went bulbous to play Dick Cheney in Dick. You know what I'm saying? He'd have to do the method. He'd have to do the method like Christian Bale does.
Even still, I don't know. It's
Okay,
just not.
So I'm looking up this guy and wow.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. It's just wow.
So who would, I mean, come on, Damian. Come on, we got to come up with something here. I
feel like there's an obvious answer that's just not
obvious.
coming.
No, there's no obvious. The only obvious,
well, at least more obvious than Danny McBride.
What? Come on, man. There's nobody else.
Wait. Are you talking about Danny McBride as in the comedic actor?
As in Eastbound and Down and
yes.
many other things.
Yes. Danny McBride would probably be the only person that could play Gigi Allen, unless you have something else.
No. What?
See, Charles doesn't even know who Gigi Allen is until like a minute ago, and he still says no.
He just don't know if Danny could do all that Gigi was willing to do.
Absolutely not. I can't talk right now. I still can't get over the fact that Danny McBride is responsible for giving us the new Halloween trilogy.
It is weird. It's like definitely like you would think out of his wheelhouse, but
it is out of his wheelhouse.
It did well initially. It lost its way.
The second and third one.
Yeah, things kind of went off the rails a bit, but it started off strong.
Because people were, it's like, how can I put this? It's like if you never really had a decent steak before, and you get a steak, and you get a steak, and then you have varying types of steak, and then you know what a really good steak tastes like and what just a semi-decent steak tastes like, but then when you're deprived of that, and then you finally get that steak again, no matter what level of steak it is, it's if you really like steak, it's gonna be good to you. So maybe, just maybe, that's what that's what Halloween, that's what that initial Halloween was. You know, it was that steak that we didn't have for a long time, that we wasn't really concerned on the level that it was on. And then we got that undercooked steak that was the John Woo version of Halloween and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It was,
Yeah.
and then you realize, holy shit, we got shitty steak. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa.
That first one was the first in like a bit over a decade, right?
Even when they shit, even when they okay, we're talking about like beyond when they shit on the Cult of Thorn angle, which was the best. Like we debated this. That was clearly the best angle to hang on to, and they shit on it. Then they let Rob Zombie, which everybody thought was gonna be, come on, it was gonna be a slam dunk. Rob Zombie, Halloween, New Reimagining, and I get it, but he shit, what I'm saying? And then by the time we got to the sequel, again, we got decent steak at Rob Zombie's Halloween. We got decent steak. And then we got the overcooked shit.
We got
That
number
was
two,
number
which
two.
was a real number two.
We
You know
got
what I'm saying?
we got the overcooked shit. We got we got the whoring of Dr. Loomis, which was to me a cardinal sin. Like, how in the fuck do you not understand that that's a cardinal sin to fuck with Loomis? Like, you don't
Stupid
fuck with,
white horse imagery.
I don't give a
Fucking-
fuck about all that. That was kind of fun, but don't whore Loomis out. Don't fucking make Loomis a media whore. What the fuck is that about? Like, you don't do that to that guy. That's not cool. There was nothing cool about that shit at all. There was nothing cool about it. And the only person that was willing to do it was Malcolm McDowell, because he's like the British actor version of Johnny Rotten sometimes. You know what I'm saying? From the Sex Pistols. So he
Yeah.
likes being the obnoxious asshole that will do the movies. And, oh, I don't like that fucking guy. Oh, I don't like that fucking guy. Like, of course you don't like me. You know what I'm saying? That's his whole thing. And like, yeah, of course they're gonna put him as that Dr. Loomis. And it was blah. You don't do that. That's not cool. There was nothing cool about that. There was nothing cool about changing that. Drop the angle. You can make him a psycho that was abused and you know what I'm saying, traumatized, you know what I'm saying, to that state. That's cool. But I think the one where it really goes downhill is, you know what I'm saying, you whore out, like, you make this too much about the therapy, and then you whore out fucking, you know what I'm saying, you whore out fucking Loomis. It's just it's insane.
Which was just like why? Why? Yeah, just why?
Because
There's
it just
no
seemed like
point to this.
it seemed like a cool angle to spin it, but you know what I'm saying, it seemed like that. But sometimes you gotta really sit back and analyze that situation. You just don't fuck with, you try to make Michael more badass in a situation and give him more of a story arc, but yet you didn't trust me, you don't have to make Dr. Loomis more badass in a remake movie. The Loomis that was in the original Halloween movies was badass enough.
He
You know what I'm saying?
shot him 6 times.
God, Jesus Christ, man.
God damn it! I thought that wasn't coming back.
Whereas Malcolm McDowell's like, I shot him 6 times. Here's my book about it.
Oh boy.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh,
I'm
here's
talking
your
about.
book. Okay, in the fireplace it goes.
I'm talking about.
Exactly.
I'm talking about Malcolm McDowell's Loomis. Malcolm McDowell's Dr. Loomis could not have survived everything that he survived going at it with Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? And still was trying to get after him, and still was trying to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, Dr. Loomis was badass enough in those original movies to where you don't need to make him more badass. Just keep him the same. But you don't make him a media whore. You don't make him a media whore. That's just where the big mistake was made. And it was a rotten piece of fruit that poisoned everything else about that second movie. You know what I'm saying? It was the symbol, it was a cherry on top that symbolized the arrogance and the I'm cool and artsy, so I would just start doing shit because it's gonna seem cool. And he missed the mark. He missed the mark with the people who really are connected to this. He missed the fucking mark. That's not cool. That's never. I don't give a fuck what age I am. That was never gonna be cool. Making Loomis some sort of media asshole was never gonna be cool. It's never gonna. I'm never gonna see the value in that. Never.
And I just think, like, obviously, not a professional on the level of Rob Zombie or any kind of professional at all. But I like to think if I was scripting that movie, even if I wrote it the first time, I feel like on a reread, I would have been like, yeah, this probably isn't the way to go. Seemed like a good idea originally, but
I mean, I just only see it as a good idea if you're just trying to really shock people with at almost every aspect. I get that. I get that. That's the streak you were on. I want to shock people at every aspect, but it's like, no one wants that shock. No one wants that. No one wanted that for real. No one wanted, you know what I'm saying, Dr. Loomis to be somebody you hate. That was the only guy. That was the only guy that, you know what I'm saying, that was trying to give anybody trying to save lives. He was the only one really trying to save fucking lives. There were people who had no idea about shit. He was walking into people's towns and existing and moving around and no one knew anything. He was trying his best to save fucking lives. This man was not young. He was not young, by the way. Okay, well accomplished doctor, but older. So he was not a young man. You know what I'm saying? Going after this guy. So I mean, it's like you really got to get that man his due.
it's just he's probably like to a point almost the core character of the franchise.
He's meant to be the absolute antithesis of Michael Myers. He's the absolute antithesis of it. He survived as Michael Myers survived almost, pretty much almost the whole entire way.
Without being some kind of superhuman thing. He was just a guy.
But he was, I mean, he was focused. It was almost the way. It was almost the way. Like I said, he was an antithesis. It was almost the way like Michael Myers' single-minded focus versus his single-minded focus on Michael Myers. You know, it was like he was just not going to be stopped until he took Michael Myers down. It was just not. He was not going to die until that happened. You know, only real life didn't help him maintain that. But you know, sadly enough, sadly real life didn't help him keep that. You know what I'm saying, that push. But you know, he tried his damn best.
Because which one was the last one he was in?
He was in The Curse.
Was The Curse, and I'm fairly sure he died before it actually came out, if memory serves.
Wow, yeah, but he was in there.
Oh yeah, he was
definitely in there.
Yeah, died before it actually released, sadly.
Yeah, and then you know the other stuff. Yeah, they were able to keep him alive because you know he's many people. Michael Myers is many people, of course. He'll never die. He's just a weird. He's a product of a weird series of merch in William Shatner's life. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God. I swear to God, if there's anybody in this world who's ever had the weirdest line of merch, it's probably weird. It's probably William Shatner. I swear to God. And there's been fucking Gallagher and fucking Carrot Top out here. And I don't think they've had as weird a merch as fucking William Shatner. I mean, even based on that mask alone, to say that mask clean is a William Shatner mask. Like, William Shatner, how do you see yourself, sir? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you see? What do you see when you look in the mirror? Because you think that's you? Like, Jesus Christ, William. Jesus Christ. William Shatner thinks that's his face. Oh my God. Has anybody ever wondered that? What does he see when he looks at himself in a reflection? My God.
I feel like even now he looks at himself and sees him in, like, you know, when he was like 25.
But if that's him when he was 25, That's scary. He's
No,
scary.
now that's it. That would have been him when he was probably in his mid-30s.
That Michael Myers mask.
Yeah, probably would have been roughly mid-30s William Shatner, I think, if not later even.
That is so weird. That's
Because you
so
see
weird.
the original, it's like,
He
wow.
approved it. That he approved. That he said, "Yeah, let's sell these." Like, wow. No one ever said, "William, Will, Billy, are you sure about this? That doesn't look like you. What the hell?"
I don't care. I need a second pool. All right, ship him out.
You look like a dead
You
man.
just had to say it like that line he did in Twilight Zone, where he had to go up against that monster on the wing.
There's a man on the wing. Oh, brief, very brief sidebar. Charles, I watched the riff tracks of The Final Frontier the other day.
Okay.
Oof. That movie is oof.
Is
That's
that
a
the
bad
one
movie.
where they asked that why does God need a starship?
Yeah, it's the one that starts off with the fucking camping trip, and
Oh
That's-
God,
Is
that's
it
a
true?
bad
that's
movie.
a bad one. Oh
Is
my
it
God.
Travolta? Is it Travolta Forrest Whitaker alien movie bad?
Whoa, no, it's not quite Battlefield
Earth
bad.
is as bad as you can get.
Yeah,
What?
but
Really?
like,
Really?
Yeah.
Battlefield Earth is worse than the Travolta led alien movie?
no, that is Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, that's Battlefield Earth.
Really? Okay, so so Battleship, and then what's the shit? L.A. So it's Battlefield L.A.
Yeah. Crap.
That was a movie from the
Battlefield
2000s,
Los
wasn't it?
Angeles, I think is what it's called. Battlefield Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, my apologies. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's basically the same thing because LA is Los Angeles, but the title of the movie
No,
is Battlefield Los Angeles.
no. What I'm saying is my apologies. Because I was connecting that title to that, and I thought, was it that? But I'm thinking that was the movie. But I
But
forgot it was. It was
I
Battlefield
saw
Earth.
Battlefield Los Angeles in the theater. It had Aaron Eckhart in the movie, and holy shit, was that movie bad.
See,
I've never seen it, but that's all I've ever heard.
Yeah,
But
See?
oh my God, it was bad.
I truly like, as far as sci-fi movies go, though, I don't know if I've seen anything worse than Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, Battlefield Earth was, oh God.
Like, I bought the riff tracks version of that. I can't imagine sitting through it because it was a long movie too. I can't imagine sitting through it without it.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Battlefield Earth was supposed to be a multi-movie series.
Yep.
It was supposed to be. They were supposed to do sequels.
Yep.
I mean, and this is based on the book. This was based on books.
Yeah,
It's
from L. Ron
yeah.
Hubbard, as
So-
in the founder of Scientology.
So in this book by L. Ron Hubbard,
Yeah.
he basically talked about this alien race that were dreadlock monsters. Really, they
Yep.
were this.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Really far
Fucking-
from America.
What was it? Man animals. The people they were, was it humans were called man animals, I think?
Yep, something like that. And
Instead of
I
manimals
think
or
the
something,
movie
man animals.
destroyed the main actor's career.
Fuck.
Can't remember his name. There's a reason for that too, because
Barry Pepper.
Barry Pepper,
that
yes.
might have been his
That's-
name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it. Yeah, Barry Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this whole thing because it's weird with those two guys because I link it was the movie I think because both of those guys were in it. You know what I'm saying? And they have these weirdly, it's not this unique name. It's kind of odd, like Barry Pepper and Thomas Jane, but they were both in the Maris and Mantle movie, I think, together. I'm not sure which one was Maris. I'm not sure which one was Maris and which one was Mantle.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
They basically played in this movie that chronicled the sort of like rivalry for the for the home run streak between Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle.
Okay.
And I think they were both of the guys who played in the title role and everything like that. So I always kind of I don't know, I always kind of I don't mix them up, but I always kind of for some reason I think about sometimes a lot of times before when I thought about Thomas Jane, when I always see Thomas Jane, I always think about Barry Pepper and then vice versa. But so yeah, that's mostly how I remember Barry Pepper's name. 'Cause I didn't see him in too much except for, of course, except for Enemy of the State. I think I remember him definitely in that.
I'm sure Barry Pepper's happy for the association, but Tom Jane may be upset.
I mean, hey man, the guy was a all right actor. I mean, but you know, he got
Hey,
typecast. He got typecast as more of a, especially with that haircut. Sometimes, you know, he was more of, you know, he's gonna be that government guy, cop guy, something like that. A lot of guys get put in that. You know, some guys are gonna be, you know, captains or sergeants at a precinct, or say some low level mob guy or whatever, or organized crime guy that owns a shop somewhere. People get typecast in different things, and I think Barry Pepper was more like you know, was
I
more
think he
like
was
the.
alright. Like, I remember him being okay in Battlefield Earth. I don't think he was terrible. It was just
But the
everything
whole
around
thing,
him was terrible.
but the whole thing was weird. They were looking like. They were looking like medieval guys going up against, like I said, the dreadlock monsters. Medieval
And
times.
I don't even blame the guy for signing on, because he would have been sold on it like, this is going to be the next, this is going to make millions and millions. You're going to make millions. This is going to be the next big thing.
And
It's
it
going to be
ended up
amazing.
being medieval vibes, man. Medieval alien vibes, man.
Like, if anyone doesn't deserve a career after that, it's Travolta. Holy shit.
Man, please. You know,
He gave
I don't
one of
know.
the worst performances I've ever seen in that movie.
Please.
Well, hell,
Look,
he ended up doing another movie recently, semi-recently, where the very first line in the entire movie is,
my hair,
"Sorry,
my
can't
hair.
talk.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
can't talk. Gotta poo."
Oh,
Right.
my hair, my hair.
Yeah, I can't even remember the name of the movie,
He's
but
like a creepy stalker or something, right?
yeah, he plays some kind of creepy stalker where he's obsessed with actors.
He had like a weird haircut and just
Yeah, something like that.
like he definitely fit the bill. He looked creepy.
Oh, he did. He did. And I think he might have been on the like his character might have been on the spectrum or something.
But again, I still got to say, when it comes to suspense filled psycho type movies, it was something that was on track about Robert De Niro as a baseball fan in The Fan. You know what I'm saying? With Wesley Snipes, like you just feel like any one of those guys could be that guy.
Yeah.
Like any one of those guys who love baseball like that could be one of these guys. You know what I'm saying? And could try to affect someone's life like that, if you know what I'm saying, if not for extreme amounts of security and things like that. But that makes it more difficult these days.
Hmm.
But like I said, you definitely would feel like a guy like that could easily just snap over and become that type of, just again, just definitely like the whole weird contrast that he brought to that particular, role. He didn't seem crazy, and that was the thing. But baseball, being a fanatic, and that's the thing. When you look at the fan and you know what a fanatic is, that's what fan is short for. It's like, hey, we're walking. It seems like we're walking a thin line there. When you think about a fanatic, are we familiar with the definition of a fanatic?
Yeah. And then what was it in recent years? People were taking. Who was it? Their fans were calling themselves Stans. In reference to Eminem's song "Stan." It's like, do you understand what that means?
Yes, they absolutely do understand what that means, and that's why at certain points, certain people are called stands because it's meant to make them feel like a weird, creepy, stalkerish type of fan.
Which I can't
Beyond,
remember who it was, but it pretty much described their entire fan base. So it was like, it makes sense, but I wondered if they got that. Was it Taylor Swift?
but I'm not sure. But like I said, but most people they'll call certain people stands, or what I'm saying, outside, like that there are, you know what I'm saying, that there are Drake stands out there that are in the media that even when he was getting, what I'm saying, slaughtered by Kendrick Lamar, was still trying to spin it and everything like that. So yeah, there's still people getting called stands to this day, and there are people who are called fans, and then there are people who go beyond who are called stands.
Stans is, yeah, that's way beyond. That's, I'm gonna murder my wife and unborn child level of crazy.
Oh, Eminem and his little bits of flavoring, it's always that's one of the things that set him apart. You know, he's just willing to step out there. See, that's the thing about it. It's like it's not that, oh, Eminem is white and it's, bro. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Could it be that because he's white, he had less of a fear about saying that type of shit? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why somebody would have so much of a fear of talking about that, only because of the real people in your life or whatever. I don't know. Some people just don't worry about it. He didn't worry about it. Rock music, they don't worry about when they want to speak about people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people couldn't imagine having a song that sounded like the way Danzig's song sounded and the name Mother. But, what are you gonna do? It's like, that may not be the relationship with your mother. You may not want to find hell with your mother, but he for some reason he seems to want to find hell with his. I don't know. I just maybe you got to ask Danzig why say why his bond with his mom is that way. I just what can you do? But it's just like,
Danzig is a unique individual.
and it's like, yes, because especially when I heard why he left the Misfits. I mean, like, it just seems so weird to me when I hear people like, okay, I think about a band like the Misfits and what they were and what they look like and everything like that, and then I hear, well, he left because they didn't have a good work ethic. They didn't want to rehearse, and they kind of look like that, you know, like they kind of look like that, It's not surprising. I just,
Like, I wouldn't have thought they would have had a good work ethic.
they seem kind of unpredictable, just okay. All right. What I'm saying? I hardly ever seen a Misfits shirt. Most of the Misfits shirts only seem to have like this weird face on it. And, what I'm saying, that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, cool. This is the band and this is all of us. No, yeah, we'll just wear this face. Yeah, well, this whole face on it. Just that's it. Like, it's just that type of shit. It's like, I don't know. I didn't think somebody was like, I just, I wanted to raise it up to another level. And like, I just didn't get that when I see these guys. Like, I just seen like Guar was their level. Like they wanted to be a Guar level. Like, okay, like, yeah, Guar is the reaching point for them. Like, we're good there. You know what I'm saying? Like, apparently Danzig wasn't good there. He wanted to be a rock god. I guess they was like, no, we want to be rock goblins, I guess. I don't know. It's, everybody has their own thing, I guess. But it's just, I just feel like basically back to the point, like I say, it just basically they just have the willingness to say these weird things and in weird ways, and then it was more direct. I don't think it was anything about hip hop and anything about that. It was just about somebody just having the guts to say whatever they're going to say, and then people might say, "Well, damn, okay, he's actually got a wife, doesn't he?" And, okay, yeah, he knew he couldn't keep doing that, so he had somebody else do it. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't keep talking about. He can keep talking about stabbing his wife in the trunk. So yeah, he had his fan do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Especially what I think would have been. I think she would have been his ex at that point as well. So it's really even worse.
Like, oh, you still think about it? Okay, I guess, Just like, I mean, it's just what, and people just didn't take chances with the art. Take fucking chances. Public Enemy once upon a time. By the time I get to Arizona, I mean everything he said in the song, and then he had a video to go along with it. It showed them storming Arizona's capital. SW1s, everybody armed. You know what I'm saying? They're shooting people. They're blowing up people's cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did that. So I mean, it's like Public Enemy was like, make Martin Luther King's birthday a federal holiday in Arizona, or we're coming there. And by the time I get there, this is what's going to happen. They were like, holy shit.
quick, get it on the books.
No, they were starting to mobilize motherfuckers at their capital because they really thought the Public Enemy was going to come there, you know what I'm saying, and storm their shit. It was crazy. I heard about it. It was crazy. They really started mobilizing troops to the capital just in case. You know what I'm saying?
Just like, hey, dickheads, it's a song.
Yeah, but it was really direct. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the video was really direct. Motherfuckers getting poisoned. You know what I'm saying? People getting poisoned when they're drinking water. They're going to the car. You know what I'm saying? There's a bomb underneath. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the guys are having a meeting. You know what I'm saying? In a certain, in a certain area, man. They just bust through the doors and just start spraying bullets. It's just it was just, they're like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the National Guard up here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was funny. Hilarious, man. Hilarious times. But just the point being made that people took chances with the art. It's just, are you willing to take those fucking chances? Are you willing to sit around and keep talking about how, say you sell drugs and you kill people in your own neighborhood, but not saying, hey, I'll kill Arizona's Congress. You know what I'm saying? Like, take that chance, I guess,
Yeah. And then, yeah, if you go higher than that, I've heard references censored out before.
Say again?
If you make references to going to the peak, doing violence at that level, on the...
Well, I guess he didn't go that far. There was a guy...
Because I've heard songs with those references censored out before. There was an Eminem song, actually, where I heard the demo before it was actually released on an album. The album version had that line taken out. He's like, yeah, I don't want the Secret Service coming to my door. Well, maybe they did already, and they're just like, yeah, we'll take it out on the official one.
There was a rapper by the name of Intelligent Hoodlum that came out with Arrest the President back in the day when I was like a preteen. Arrest the President, he's the real gangster. Or he's a real drug dealer. I think he might have said both too, but
Yeah.
Yeah, people was like, but that was like, that just something that just wasn't normally done. People always speak about, Black Pride and this and that and so on and so forth, but stopping the violence. But no one ever said arrest the president. Like, he's the real gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like arrest his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to be they're dealing drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, arrest their ass. You know what I'm saying? You get us on the corner.
When was this? Was it like during Reagan or
Bush?
Bush, okay.
Dad Bush. It was during Dad Bush times, I think. Yep. I'd say it was probably like around 90, 91. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it was around Dad Bush times. So yeah, it just felt like, like I said, that, and let me see. Only other people that ever spoke like that was this rap group called the Coup. They were like a more militant version of Diggable Planets. Two male rappers, one female rapper. Constantly spoke about overthrowing the government.
That was like their sort of their main theme, or
Their
just something they
name,
did a lot.
their name was the Coup.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. Like,
Yeah,
a very
so
very themed music.
I guess you could say that. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say themed, but it was they definitely was
Themed isn't the right word. Very very pointed music. I
very
had a yeah.
that much. Yeah, very saying very direct, very direct there from their name and like I said, definitely a lot of their stuff was they spoke about some other things and whatnot, but they were definitely speaking about getting at the government, getting at the corporations and everything like that. They definitely was speaking on that shit. They definitely gave the female some room to speak about the issues that she had that she felt like that she felt as a woman and everything like that and so on. So
Speaking to truth to power, and not in that gay hippie way.
nope, I would say I would say not. Her views as a woman were valid. It was speaking on some valid stuff back then for sure. You know, definitely intelligent, definitely not. Because it's got to be balanced there. See, that's where I think that if you're going to work with a female counterpart in anything that you're doing, be it like in music or be it like in like with the Breakfast Club, for example, there's got to be a balance there and everything like that. You know, like, and there's got to be a trust. You know, if you really feel like it's because see, for me, you know, because if you really feel like somebody's saying something that you really feel like is truly offensive for no reason, just to be hurtful and offensive, you wouldn't continue to work with them, or else that definitely starts to say something about you, like it or not. But and if you're known for saying and doing things and then want to flip it and then do a double standard, see, that's where the trust, what I'm saying, and it becomes a boys club. It's a boys club because if you understand, like, I understand when certain things are said, with you guys, what I'm saying, or with you or with Jim, and I know it's not coming from, a, say a real racial or misogynistic chauvinist or whatever place or anything like
There's no
that.
malice or anything there.
It's just humor to incite more of a conversation, if anything. And then once the conversation is started, we're willing to speak, truthfully and real on the subject. But what I'm saying, but humor is always going to be a way to at least, to at least approach it and everything like that. And to sort of like garnish around it. So it's not just a completely heavy conversation. So, but it's like with some people, it's like, but if you truly feel like, so when I feel like, so in conversations, I don't feel like, even though we're all guys, still as guys, that's why as a boys club, when you understand that somebody is not coming from that sort of place, there's a trust there. And, and so when certain things are said one way or the other, it's not being made offense. When I say certain things, what I'm saying, about Australia or whatever, or about, what I'm saying, or saying certain things about Charles and things like that, it's not coming from a a bullying place or a low key, I'm trying to downgrade you or talk down to you or punch down at you. It's more of just us, I'm saying, our humor and our trust. And like I said, and that's just when you bring a female, you just want that trust that you're not going to say anything that makes, I'm saying, you're going to speak on the issues that are, and not make it seem like guys are this and guys are that. And all of them were like that. And so, saying hardly any of them can be trusted. And so that's the way we move. But yeah, these guys, but it would never feel that way if you're saying it in the way that you're saying it that way. I'm saying? It'll never feel like those guys are immune to that just because we're in a group together. It's still going to, it's still going to look and feel a certain way. So yeah, but I'm just saying that's I think that's a lot of time where things go wrong when it comes to saying co-ed situations like that with content and things like that. It's got to be a balance and a trust in the situation.
Mhm.
Sometimes things are going to get said. Sometimes conversations and comments may go left, maybe may be misunderstood or whatever. But it happens. It happens on both sides. It happened to Angela Yee on a number of occasions. When she was, when she would do her own little solo things or solo interviews and things like that, where there were things that might have been said that might have been deemed inappropriate and things like that. And it's just when you try to make somebody else look like they were constantly saying and doing things that was offensive to me as a woman. I didn't like that and all that type of stuff like that. And it's acting like, okay, I wanted to run a show that was this, but when you're doing rumors about people and saying certain things and certain issues are being spoken where people are being disrespected, I mean, it's more than just those two guys. It's the guests they brought up there that were saying things and being disparaging of other people that they had issues with. And you're sitting there giving them a platform to be able to be as disrespectful as they want to be, while they're on your show. And it's like all of those things are just hypocritical to somebody acting like I just had enough of what they were doing and how it was affecting me and everything like that, and how it was a male dominated environment that I didn't feel like I was being heard. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's like, to me, I don't know. They tried to be good. You know what I'm saying? They tried to be good guys about it. I don't know, because they had their own issues, but it's still an element of betrayal there. And it's just, but apologize going down this whole rabbit hole. But it's just to say it was always a good thing to see when you had co-ed groups like that, where it seemed like there was a balance and there was a trust in that situation. That's all.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know what they're doing now because I was a preteen, about to be a teenager when they were out. So not sure what they're doing now, but I highly recommend The Coup. If you, again, being a naive kid at that point, I always thought it was The Coup. I put the P pronunciation on it because I didn't understand what a coup was in the first place at that point. So,
that's where they keep the pigeons. Yes, sir. Very good. Take your CDs in the other.
That didn't even occur to me either. Honestly, a chicken or pigeon coop, that didn't even occur to me either. I'm just like, I thought like a car, like a coupe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like, but they're from LA. I guess that kind of works out. You know what I'm saying? They're the coupe. You know what I'm saying? I guess they just I don't. I had
it's
no
like,
idea.
I don't really get it, but whatever. A name is a name.
And I'm listening to their music, and as I got a little older, I realized, oh, they were the cool. Oh, the music. Oh, I get. I gotta be a teenager. I gotta be an older teenager. I was like, oh, I get it now. They were the takeover guys. Music. I mean, okay, yeah, the cool when they take over and over the government. Got it. I got it. All right, got it.
They were driving towards progress.
That, you know what? That's a statement I could definitely agree with. I like that. See, we got it. See, I'm going to get my creative cloud. I'm getting my creative cloud soon, and then I'll be able to just go crazy, get this shit set up, and start talking over the music, and also conspiracy. Wait for it. Theory.
Is that the full title?
Not to wait for it. Oh. the dots will tell the story. Take a place. It will take the place of the wait for it.
Yeah.
It's like, is what I'm talking about, and I'm going to explore just a little preview real quick, folks, because we're about rounding out. I don't know where Charles is. Are you still here, Charles? Or did we just
I'm still here. I'm just sitting here listening.
Did we bully you out of this conversation, man? I'm sorry.
No. It's just I mean, I didn't really have anything to contribute.
Okay, no problem.
We're
gonna try to rope you back in here so you can contribute if you like.
Yeah.
like with the conspiracy.
I know that since I'm not on camera, it's just it looks like that I'm not here when I don't say anything.
No, yeah, that's the thing I was looking for. Like you feel like there wasn't a conversation that you could jump into. So
Yeah.
I don't want to have I want to keep having a conversation that basically locks you out. So I'll round out, but just a little preview of what I'm thinking on doing with conspiracy theory is exploring every sort of conspiracy,
Okay.
any and all that's worth a conversation, and seeing, is it just a theory or is it a conspiracy? Maybe I should do conspiracy front slash theory. What do you think about that?
I like
Okay,
that.
I have a friend who has like this joke what's I know we're going to be like we could possibly dabble into conspiracy theories, but I have a friend who he has this like joke that he does where he like shuts down, like, you know how like we have like the flat earthers, and he has like this whole rebuttal to like shut down the flat earthers, and he says like, oh yeah, I bet you're one of those people who believes in the moon.
Well, in all fairness, folks, we can't shut down flat earthers, because who would greet you at the Walmart if they did that?
Ooh.
It's just, those people usually are nice. They greet you and they say hi when you come in, try to make you feel welcome. At least make Walmart not seem as soul crushing as it actually is. So, gotta
And
give them
then,
some credit.
ironically, for flat earthers, they have a lot of curvature.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing with that show, man. So and thank you, Damian, for thinking that was for helping me out with that particular idea. So I think I'm going from the dots to front slash. So conspiracy front slash theory.
I like it, and
You
I can picture it looking better as a logo too, or a title, or whatever.
Yeah, like one word is white, one word is black, maybe,
Yin and yang.
or something like that. Maybe I don't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, without without the theory, you have no conspiracy. And you know what I'm saying. Like without light, like without without light, there's no dark. And so on and so forth. Pretty good. Thanks, Damien. Oh, and by the way, folks, you better understand that as I speak, I am the CEO, CCO, CBF3, HIHNIC, triple OG, triple All Star, 5-star, Bugle General, Triple Heart, Purple Heart, corporate raider of. Okay, yeah. I think I've made it as big as I can make it, of Mainframe Multimedia LLC. So as I speak this and you take this, you're committing, infringement on my intellectual property, because I hold the umbrella that is Mainframe Multimedia, an actual limited liability corporation. Don't forget that. Just don't forget that. I'm just saying, just don't forget as I speak, and you think that I'm doing this. And, oh my God, why would you be so stupid to say on your show? Because people just take it. Okay, go ahead. I need the money. I need sue money. That's all. I need lawsuit money. It's all good. Just understand I'm warning you is under the umbrella of Mainframe Multimedia. Whenever you see my face and hear me talking about something, and these guys really, they're protected under the umbrella of Mainframe Multimedia LLC, especially our gracious host Damian J. Rogers, his YouTube channel and things like that. They're definitely protected under those legalities. So I guess you could say Mainframe Multimedia is sort of international, thanks to Damian. That's my guy.
So if any of you dipshits who believe in the moon want to steal shit, think again.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Ozzy believes in it. He barks at the moon. He believes in it. So do you believe in it?
I believe, but it's Ozzy's fault.
Yeah.
I've heard that song. Oh,
So does NASA not believe?
hundreds of times.
So does NASA not believe in it, and that's why they did a whole staged, movie set of going onto the moon because they don't
Well, I
believe that the moon
mean,
exists.
if you're really crazy, you might be one of those lunatics that thinks that the moon is a megastructure, like they did in the movie Moonfall.
Lunatics?
Oh God.
Okay. So we believe that the moon exists up there, right?
Well, I mean, some people think it's a megastructure. Some people think it's a gigantic egg, like they did in that episode of Doctor Who. Ugh.
I just want.
What's in the egg?
I don't know, some fucking
Some
space
type of
creature.
fucking.
Cadbury goo, Cadbury goo, the best kind.
Oh
But
God. I have never had a Cadbury egg.
What? You
my God.
constantly surprise me, sir.
Isn't that a Southern thing? You're from Kentucky. Isn't that a Southern thing?
I don't know.
That's like Easter shit. That's what they do for Easters. That's what you. Well, then what do you guys do for Easters?
I haven't had an Easter egg hunt in, I don't know, probably about 10 years.
Never
Well, no,
been molested.
That's
So
for
it's been
children.
10 years since you've
What
been
about
molested by the bunny.
Easter
Huh?
eggs? Wait, that's the thing?
I mean,
Am I blocking out some memories?
I'm saying you guys didn't sit on the bunny's lap, like go to places where they had an Easter bunny and sit on his lap like he was Santa Claus.
No, I
And
recall doing that with Santa when I was a kid, not the Easter
Yeah.
Bunny.
what
I'm
did do
assuming is some
something
kind
like
of
that at our
someone's
local
backyard
mall
shed.
when we were kids.
Yeah, you would take pictures with the Easter bunny and
Yeah.
act like it was Santa, but you didn't talk to the bunny and everything like that. You just kind of sat there and maybe took a picture. Just me? Just me?
No. I did that too. We had the Easter bunny show up at our local mall, and we did that at our local mall.
See, it's widespread. I'm telling you, it's widespread.
Was the Easter Bunny like, "Hey, little boy, want some candy?" It's good. It's real.
Just
good.
had to say it like that clown from that clip from Attack on Titan. God damn it.
No, it's like one egg is the ooey gooeyest.
Oh, my
Oh,
eggs
my
are all
God.
gooey for you. So gooey.
Cadbury ain't got nothing on my cream. What? What, Charles? What? Jeez, man. Look, I'm
It's all
sorry.
yolk.
Look, like what? You put the ball on the tee. I'm not gonna hit it. I mean, what do you expect, Charles? You put the ball on the tee. I don't swing. I mean, come on.
Oh, you think you put the
right there.
cream egg up your ass? He's not going to come find it?
What
Trying
was
to go
that
with
big?
We talked about eggs and butthole stuff.
Yeah, the rough riding out back Australian there, Damian. That of course he talks about that. Yes, of course he does.
Hey, I talk about stuff, but I ain't ever been molested by no bunny. No 6-foot bunny.
Yeah, just us.
Man.
Just us, okay? Yeah. Yeah, Oh, hold on. Yeah, wait a second. You guys live in a home with the 6-foot bunnies.
Well, yes, but I don't let them molest me. I just flee
you live
from
in a
them.
home with the 6-foot bunnies there, Damian. I'm pretty sure you've been molested.
If by molested you mean I reverse over them, then yes. They try, but I don't let them get me. I see it coming. I'm aware at all times. I open my door just a crack before I walk out. You never know.
Yep.
Man, them kangaroos are built like guys just sit in the mirror, just
Oh yeah, they'll just punch through the wall and come get you if they really want to.
I'm just like they just
And like the
they look,
Kool-Aid Manic that they'll fucking disembowel you.
they let they get just get barbell and he's sitting in front of the mirror just obsessing over themselves. Yeah. And this, you know what I'm saying? They got all this shit here, and they just, you know what I'm saying? And they walk around like they walk around flexing their goddamn shoulders and biceps, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how they look. That's how they look half the time.
It's absurd, isn't it? Like it's a real life cartoon. It's fucking nuts.
They're out there trying to drown. Yeah, it's real life cartoon. They're trying to drown dogs and everything. Man, I'm just trying to tell you.
Yeah, I
feel
don't know
like
what that's about.
They're smart, and I feel like people get molested out there. You know?
Oh, almost definitely. If they're drowning dogs, I'm sure they're doing other heinous things.
Yeah.
It's psychos.
But yeah, so the Australia folks, home of the 6-foot bunnies.
Marsupials.
Yes, okay. Yes.
Actually.
But it's like
I didn't say it.
You didn't have to.
but basically it's just saying like calling a raccoon a trash panda. It's just, you know.
I like that one. I've always liked that.
You know.
Trash panda.
A pigeon, a flying rat. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know. It's just, you're not saying, we're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not exactly saying that it's that. It's just, you know, just a reference. It's all just a reference.
Yep.
So it's a name that gives you everything you need to know. Especially flying rat. It's pretty factually accurate from what I understand.
And I'm sorry. I mean, look, but besides the pocket for the Joey, there, I mean, like you're looking at a 6-foot bunny. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and no cottontail. I mean, this guy's got a substantially strong and thick tail that they can balance themselves on. Even, you know what I'm saying? It's quite, it's because they're quite formidable. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, look, 6-foot bunnies are going to be different than the regular bunnies. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get a bunny that's 6 foot, I mean, I think they're going to undertake some evolutions. You know what I'm saying? I think. You know what I'm saying? I believe.
Yeah. Seems reasonable.
The cottontails are going to become a little different. You know what I'm saying? I just think you have evolution when these things get bigger. That's all I'm saying.
There's a whole outback out there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if anyone does.
I'm just saying, man.
They might have underground cities where they're slowly plotting an uprising or something.
Look, I'm sorry. Tourist time, real quick. While we have this, while we're kind of just doing our victory lap, because I think we'll be a whole hour, earlier than usual, guys. Wow. But I wanted to ask you, Damian, what is the biggest croc you've seen up close? Well, I mean, as close as you like to be, you know, within safety.
Biggest croc? Probably Battlefield Earth. Oh, crocodile.
Not croc of shit. I mean, within safety? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, what the hell you thought was going to go on? I said within safety.
Well, I mean, I could have seen Battlefield Earth in 3D and had a real bad time. Injured myself jumping out of my chair because that fucking forehead's coming at me. I don't know. It would be, I guess, like a.
You've seen a few, huh?
Nah, not really. But I remember one time when I was a kid, we were up in Queensland, which is sort of like our Florida, as far as like it's got like, you know, like what do you call it? The bayou in Florida, like, you know, you're sort of swampy kind of ish kind of, you got like areas like that up there, and going around getting yabby traps, which yabbies are like, they're like tiny lobster kind of things, or like that sort of, what do you call those?
They're like crawdads.
Yeah, basically that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we're going around emptying some traps with my uncle up there one time, and there was one just sort of off a ways, just on a riverbank. Just, oh, okay, that's over there. We should probably keep going, right? And we did. That would have been, as a guess from memory from when I was like 8 years old, I guess. I want to say like 5 feet, 4.5
5
feet.
That's the
Something
big.
like
That's the biggest you've ever come across in person.
that I've actually seen. Yeah, it might have been bigger than that, but yeah, I'm going back quite a long time.
Man, I thought
Like you don't get them anywhere near me where I actually live now.
Oh, okay, I thought you might have been somewhere at some point out there and might have seen like a 15, 20 footer. I was imagining. Sorry, I guess I just imagined that.
Oh God, no! I wouldn't be here. I would have jumped out of my skin and be gone.
I mean, even at a distance,
It may have been bigger than 6 feet. I honestly can't remember exactly. I just remember, being that little and just be like, that's big. I don't know how big exactly.
but even at a distance, if you've seen a 20 foot, you would be like extremely freaked out.
Oh yeah, that's massive.
I get that, but even at a safe distance, you'd be amazed, you'd be a little intimidated, but you really still be like, you'd be totally like freaked out.
I'd be like, I want to leave this place right now. I wouldn't squeal, but I definitely would be feeling uncomfortable.
What about you there? Charles? I mean, how would you react seeing about a 15 to 20 foot crocodile at a safe distance?
At a safe distance, I would probably pull out my camera and take pictures. If I were too close for comfort, I would back up slowly, and then as soon as I was a reasonable distance away from backing up, I would turn around and run.
Yeah, like I guess at a truly safe distance, yeah, I'd probably take a picture, but those things can move fast.
Oh yeah. But
Like
yeah,
on
I would
water and
back
on
up
land, they can
slowly
move
if I
fast.
was too close for comfort.
They can get you up
Okay.
trees too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near an alligator or a crocodile. Fuck that shit.
I love dinosaurs, but stay away from me.
Oh yeah. I've seen Jurassic Park. I saw what happened to that lawyer in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Real quick, guys. Real quick. When it comes down to it for you guys, like, what is it? What was it really that made the executioner the 2.0 of the executioner Cam? Was it that he always had this weird, this weird psychotic gene in him? Was it an obsession with, bringing, was it obsession with bringing, Sarah back? Or, combination of both? Like, what do you guys, why do you feel like?
I think it goes all the way back to how he was treated by his mother.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was not a nice woman.
No, she wasn't.
So you think it's about his psychotic streak that, at that young age then?
Yeah. I think it goes all the way back to how he was treated by his mother.
So why not just be an executioner and just kill people? Why try to bring Sarah back to get, to get a piece of that action? I mean, was this really just kind of like a bonus, just being able to get a piece of that action?
I think it could have just been just a happy coincidence.
I think
So he wasn't meaning to bring her. So he wasn't meaning for her to come back.
No, I think it just all sort of worked out.
I think Sarah coming back at that moment was the trigger he was looking for justification for him to go on his killing spree. Because once he was done killing with the punishment of the 7 deadly sins, I think
Okay.
he was going to stop.
Really?
Yeah. I do. I legitimately think he was going to stop.
But the thing is, it's not like, okay. See, it's not like, even with the Zodiac, in my opinion, you know, you kill according to the Zodiac, and then the revolution comes back again. So what I'm saying. So the next year you're back killing according to, what I'm saying, according to that astrological,
Yeah, but
descriptions and whatnot.
I don't think Cam was killing because he liked it. I think he was killing because he was angry because of what those people were doing.
And his twisted life. He got a father that, what I'm saying, that likes playing stigmata sex games, what I'm saying, when he's
Yeah.
not when he's not preaching the word. And what I'm saying, the other twisted shit he was probably into when it came to Sarah and her mother and her husband, as it was put, what I'm saying, as it was adjusted to later on and everything like that. So
Yeah, but him killing his father wasn't planned.
of course not. But it was always this powder keg that was set to blow, depending on the situation. And I guess realized that he was going to try to out him as the executioner was, was the spark that was needed for it to blow at that point.
So you're saying that after he killed his father, it was pretty much all bets are off.
Not so much that he was still on his path, but he didn't want to be stopped. And I still feel like he just didn't want to be stopped on what he was doing. Now, he was going to make those people who he felt in certain ways were, that were responsible and things like that, big time in certain ways and whatnot. But I don't see it in certain ways. It was certain sins that were not connected to this particular situation. So I felt like, as people committed big time sins that led into the wrath and, and gluttony and lust and things like that, he would keep finding those people in that small town that were the biggest violators of those 7 deadly sins and kill them as a cautionary tale to live right or watch your back.
So in other words, he would just keep killing until people started
Living better.
committing those sins.
Yeah. The twisted influence of his father as a preacher, is leading him to be some sort of like holy vigilante against those people who constantly violate those, those particular sins, and how it affects the small town negatively. So he will be the guardian that watches over, and as you commit those, and the bigger committers of those sins will be sacrificed as symbols to other people, to warn other people to basically calm it down.
Okay.
So I don't know if he was going to stop, maybe until the next violator comes along of one of those sins, or if he goes in order. I don't know if we're going in order, or if we're going as the bigger ones come to light, just, and the lust person will get the next person. If it happens to be lust, then he'll get them, and it'll just keep on going until people just, live, live right because of fear. So,
yeah.
But I mean, it's
funny, like that small town is funny too. It seems to be an extremely small town, yet they have a big problem with prostitution and stuff, apparently. So it's sort of like, how small is this place? Like, everyone seems to know each other, but
was it big?
There's also like, there was one point they sort of indicated that the town had a big problem with drugs and prostitution. I can't remember who said that.
Oh,
like,
and another thing I
really?
wanted to bring up like that is just later in the season at Sarah's art gallery, there was a lot of like goth and like vampire people that
Yeah.
showed up at her art gallery. And I'm like, where the hell did these people come from?
They only travel because of the news, because that whole thing with the guy was big news and everything like that. So, they probably only travel because now you realize that
Oh, so you're saying they came from out of town?
possibly because they heard
Okay.
about the daughter of this, what I'm saying, of the psycho that killed, what I'm saying, that killed, what I'm saying, this couple, what I'm saying, and everything like that. And she's the daughter that survived, and now she's got an art gallery. We don't know what kind of crazy art we got going on in there and everything like that. So,
All right, and then there was that woman that said that she made 6 figures drinking blood in front of a webcam, and I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
Ah,
Which I'm not doubting her. I'm sure she does, but still.
it's like, I mean, it's like, is that even sanitary? Is that even healthy? It's just like, no. It's like, I mean, I'm not even sure if it's even real blood. She's probably just drinking dyed corn syrup or something.
You would hope so.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if it's clean blood, it's probably not going to do anything, but that's still gross as fuck.
Oh no. If it's like legitimate blood, like yeah, it's gonna cause problems.
Yeah, it will actually.
but
Yeah,
but I was
it will cause problems. It would make her sick, and it's something to do with like the body cannot break it down properly, and I don't know specifically like how it will make her sick, but it would actually cause health problems.
I mean, it probably gets confused. Like, you probably almost trick it into thinking there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, like
It's
I
like the
remember
only
a
time you
long
can have
time
blood
ago
in
there
like
was
certain
this.
spots is if you got internal damage.
Yeah, I remember there was a long time ago there was this reality show that involved like all these different like kooky and weird people. There was a witch, there was a exhibitionist on the panel, and there was also this like this guy that claimed to be a vampire that was on there. And the vampire guy said that he actually drank real blood, but when they did a background on him, apparently what he had to do like on a regular basis, he had to go to regular medical checkups to check his like health because of his constant ingestion of human blood. Because, well, he's not actually a vampire, he just.
well,
So, yeah. Now, I have no idea what happened to this guy. I don't even remember the name of the reality show, but it was an interesting reality show. But,
they're
yeah.
not real life.
Something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, like there was like a woman that was a part of the Wiccan religion. There was a guy who called himself a naturalist. He was basically just a guy that like went to like nudist like celebrations or whatever. Like he took all of his clothes off and just like walked around completely nude.
I know, but
There was like a few other like judges that had their own like quirks or whatever. It was weird.
Well, speaking of weird,
Yeah.
because we are going to be dealing with again the brutality and gore of slasher for the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just like a sort of like a contrast to that, in certain things. I don't know. I may have to, drop some unseen or long time since seen, maybe M. Night Shyamalan movies, or
Oh,
something like
speaking
that.
of that, M. Night Shyamalan has a new movie that came out recently, and it is
Trap
called
or Trapped?
It's called Trap.
Okay.
And I am interested in checking out that movie. It looks interesting. I saw the trailer for it when I went to see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Who was it? Was it Josh Hartnett?
Yep, Josh Hartnett.
It was him, yeah.
Yep. And apparently, the singer, the performer of the concert that Josh Hartnett's character and the actress that's playing his daughter are going to see, The singer is being played by M. Night Shyamalan's actual daughter, who is also a singer in real life.
Hmm.
Yeah, I recently found that out. She's an R&B singer.
Lil Night Shyamalan.
I no, that's Salenka, I think is what her name is, or at least her stage name, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, but she's his eldest daughter. She's like 28 years old, and apparently she's doing original music for this movie.
Well, you want to hope it's not terrible, because if the music and the movie is terrible, the family may never work again.
Well,
I'm
they've
just
been
kidding.
saying
They'll
that
always
for,
keep
they've been
working.
saying
Yeah.
that about M. Night Shyamalan for years, and yet he's still working.
Ugh.
So
Old.
we'll,
Movie
we'll,
old. Jesus.
well, maybe we'll just message. Well, maybe we'll message up and discuss what we need to discuss as far as this contrasting movie and everything like that.
One last thing
And
for Splasher. Did anyone notice the massive continuity error when she's looking through the scrapbook?
What was the continuity error?
Well, she's looking through the scrapbook. She sees a picture of Cam, and he's holding up the picture.
Uh-huh.
Zooms in on the picture. It's a picture of like devils around a campfire or something.
Yeah.
She pulls out a tablet to look at the picture of the gluttony image off the wall they found in that abandoned house, which she has for some reason.
Yeah.
And she compares it to the picture that she just looked at, and it has that exact same image instead of the one that was there before. I was
I
like,
did notice
the
that.
fuck? This was like, it was like 10 seconds ago. How do you fuck that up? It's not even like they showed it in they zoomed in on the original picture and then just replaced it.
Yeah, that was a little strange. I was like, what?
I overlooked that then.
Yeah.
Overlooked that. Must have. Jeez. Sorry. I really overlooked that. Wow.
There's one thing in continuity error with like the glass was more full in the previous take or whatever the fuck, but something like that, it's like, holy shit.
But I would definitely say that when it came to this first installment and the other one, I feel like, and I think that you guys may feel the same way, that I think I like the element of, I think it still has sort of like a Wes Craven Scream element to it, but they're making it still more of a, more of a movie and not being so self-aware of the horror movie rules, but it's still more of a, it's a less naive, but some people still got to play into the certain things a little bit for it to be more classic horror movie type. So, but I do like, how they try to explore that certain aspect, and then the way they'll be going into the other aspect of the friends keeping a deep dark secret, a horror angle, and this one person, they have no idea, who seems to know about that deep dark secret.
Because the next season's about a summer camp or something, right?
That's the installment. Summer Solstice is what it's called, and it explores the deep dark secret. The whole deep dark secret kept between friends or whatever for years, and somebody who happens to know that deep dark secret, that they don't happen to have any idea who the hell would know it, and everything like that. Sort of like in that tradition of, I know what you did last summer, so on and so forth.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's just, I know what you did last summer, where they ended up killing Sarah Michelle Gellar, and
one of the biggest, like, it still makes me mad to this day. Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
What, her?
Yeah.
Oh god, you guys. Yeah. No, you
also, it is the movie that introduced me to what was her name?
Tits?
No. I'm trying to remember her name. It was the main actress. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt. It was the movie that introduced me to her.
Oh, so Tits.
Big fucking talent.
Yeah, big fucking talent.
But yeah, so but yeah, it's in that tradition, and then they take another aspect and they bring it to more of a sort of like a sort of like closed scene aspect where they deal with more where they deal with people more in a more of a connected space, and then they I mean more like say a cabin, but it's more of a involved thing with this cabin and things like that. Where that used to be a summer camp and everything like that. So they bring in that element of being around people, having this situation come up, not knowing who you can trust, and being closely interacted with, you know, what I'm saying, with these other people and everything like that. There's still some outside environmental scenes that get mixed in with that, but a lot of the main stuff kind of goes in within that, you know what I'm saying, that sort of like confined area and one or two other areas, and they really go there on some places. So I mean, it's quite a one. So it's quite an installment.
If the
So
twist
we're
is the lady has a dick at the end, I'm going to be mad.
okay. I'm not sure what lady we're talking about.
Sleepaway Camp. Never mind.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. We're okay. That one. Okay. That one was a keeping a years long truth.
No, I can't remember what. That's the only thing I remember. I think that's the only thing most people remember from that movie.
Oh, okay. Because oh yeah, yeah, you know, more like the Valentine type thing. You know,
Yeah.
slaughter high things, in you know what I'm saying, things in that sort of realm. Some people do something seemingly getting away with it, prom night, things like that, and then somebody who happens to know what really happened is coming to exact revenge, you know. So it's that whole thing in that one. And yeah, so looking forward to discussing that with you guys, and then getting set on the other thing that will be, maybe the other movie that we'll be looking at in companion in contrast to that, you know. So unless we had any more that we wanted to say about this particular installment, or do we want to know about the third aspect and get to thinking about that one too?
Yeah, why not? What is it?
That one is basically someone being, people turning their back, the people turning their back on someone that they knew that they could have helped and didn't help, and someone is making them accountable for that. I can't, movies are not popping up in my head about what that would have been, you know. Like what movies are sort of like that, where somebody is like looking for help and no one is helping them, and they know what ended up happening, and it's like they don't, you know what I'm saying, they don't say anything to anybody, you know what I'm saying, and now somebody knows that they could have helped and didn't, you know. And
It definitely reminds me of something. I just don't know what that something is.
yeah, it's some aspect to think about, and what movies may, you know, may go in that space, I guess. So, but but yeah, I definitely enjoyed this installment. Definitely the coming back home, you know, the coming back home and dealing with some real truths about your past, and you know what I'm saying, installment was pretty good. But I mean, it's always going to be that doofy last girl shit that we're gonna have to deal with regardless, and that was a part of it, you know what I'm saying. So it's like when you have that kind of movie, you're gonna have that last girl situation, and you know that's what that is, you know. You know?
Just one more thing. When Cam planted the evidence under the couch, and she found it, it's like, bitch, how dumb are you? She's like, I don't know, I don't understand. Like, maybe he wants me. It's like, how fucking yeah, he's gonna hide his secret box of here's all the killings I did under the couch. You're an idiot. God, you
But
annoy me.
at best, you could legitimize that because she figured out that he was sort of some sort of fanboy, or at least or at least a story chaser trying to see how he could gain access to the original executioner and everything like that, and that so why wouldn't he be so obsessed with this whole thing that now he's not perpetuating more? That I mean, that's one way to legitimize the situation, but also it's just a part of that frustration that is horror movies that make horror movies. If they don't go and check it out, if they don't go and touch the weird thing that they never seen before that's moving and things like that, if they don't do these things, then we don't have a horror movie. If Michael Rooker doesn't go out there and fuck with that thing like a country boy, like the old country redneck that he is, and go poking that thing out there, he doesn't get shot in the neck, and we don't have a monster with that every time he connects with somebody, he implants their consciousness. So he has almost the whole town singing "You're every woman in the world to me." You know what I'm saying? It's just we don't have that if he doesn't go out there and do that first. That's what horror movies are all about. If they don't do the stupid shit, we don't have a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? Just the way that shit is. If he doesn't go being nosy in a house he don't know in Texas, you know what I'm saying? Just Leatherface doesn't hit him with that sledgehammer, and we don't have the start of a movie. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the real beginning of a movie where the girl gets hung on a hook and gets to watch her guy, you know what I'm saying, get made in sausage right in front of her face. You know, it's just if we don't have these moments, but give me a quick second, guys.
It's true. Without stupid people, where would horror be?
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever seen that commercial? I can't remember the name of it. I think it was an insurance commercial where there was a bunch of like I would say teenagers, maybe early 20s, and they are trying to escape a serial killer. And they see like they're running through like a cornfield and everything, and they get into a clearing, and they say like hey, let's go hide in this shed. And then one of the 20 somethings, the girl says, why don't we get into the running car? And the guy says, what, are you crazy? And so they go into the shed and they hide behind all these implements of death, and the serial killer is right behind them, and he lifts up his mask, and he just shakes his head and just goes, really? It's just like, come on, really?
I've never seen that, but that's a great commercial. Just
Yeah,
based on the description.
it's funny. It's making fun of how stupid the survivors usually are in horror movies.
Sorry, guys, I'm back.
Oh man.
But I apologize. What did I suggest before we started the show, though, as the contrast movie? You remember?
Exorcist Believer.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Exorcist Believer. Yeah. I think I can find that on some streaming service. I can't remember where though.
You know what, though?
I feel like Prime,
Even
probably.
even if,
Yeah, probably Prime.
but even though there's a little bit of, I guess, gore in it, in a way, but I don't know.
I'm fairly certain that the quote unquote gore that I would find in it would probably be the two possessed just throwing up something.
No, I don't mean that movie. There's a movie that's on Shutter, I think, and possibly in a connection thing that if you can get access to it, I just want to see. Late Night with the Devil. Did I ever talk to you guys about that?
Oh yeah,
Yes, and
yeah.
I definitely
I saw that.
want to see that.
Yeah, I watched that not long after it came out.
Yeah.
And
I absolutely want to watch that. That movie looks incredible.
so maybe we should think about watching it again. You and I, Damian, and you watch it for the first time, and maybe discussing it. Maybe something to think about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
be
can
down for
agree
that.
to that. I definitely want to see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, then. Well, I guess other than any other add-ons we might want to add on, I think we have I think we already have a show for next week, so it would be Slasher Installment 2 and Late Night with the Devil.
Okay.
Let out with the devil.
Yep.
Oh,
I
all
think that's
right.
a good
All
roster.
right.
Yep.
Van Halen reference, right? If I'm remembering right, a little bit of a
Yeah.
Van Halen reference.
Yeah, a
Okay.
little bit.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was tracking on that. All right. So I guess with that, we can. Yeah, if we have any more else. We have any more to say about this installment? I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. I think that
It
whole
had flaws.
weird old lady hating her shit was just I don't know. I think that was a real, again, it was like a movie. I think it was a movie aspect tossed into to this whole thing. Make her seem like she's
Honestly, yeah. But honestly, my main problem of the going over it again is that pointless thing with the kid. Just because I don't see the point. What the fuck was that? That's poor writing.
Yeah. And then we don't have any more explanation as to what's going on after the kid is rescued.
No, just a useless thing they threw in for no reason.
Yeah.
maybe he wasn't that big of a sinner, and he decided not to.
Just an opportunity for the serial killer to take a baseball bat to a kid. So,
But maybe he felt like he wasn't a big sinner, and so he wasn't a big time sinner, and decided to spare him, I guess.
well, maybe I don't know. It's just, I mean, whatever the killer's intentions were with that whole situation, it doesn't matter because they didn't do anything with it.
I think what was done was done. I think for him to come back and to create this weird, whole thing about it. You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know. Maybe he figured on some things also. Maybe it's a bit of a psychological thing of maybe he was just trying to, what I'm saying, just drum up attention on other shit along with this and everything like that. You know, he was psychotic and he was psychotic and he was murderous for sure, but he was seemingly be working on a twisted dedication to his father's teachings and also being a cop and playing into that. And then think about it. Look at it like this. Both his father and the chief of police that was like a mentor to him and being a cop, both like father figures to him, both, what I'm saying, their real lives beside outside of being, what I'm saying, a preacher and, what I'm saying, the chief of police, they're crooked and depraved, and so like how do you keep that? How do you keep that from driving you a certain way? Then your wife's cheating on you with saying, with this other guy, and you're trying to be all all you can for and everything like that. I mean, it's just I'm saying, it's enough to re-snap shit in a way. I just don't know. Like I said, I just feel like it was more strategic than what it was. I think I mean, maybe he has some suspicions about, what I'm saying, about the girl and about who actually took her. Maybe he suspected the chief. Who knows? And maybe
And
some of that would.
do you think he remade the outfit exactly like that, or do you think he just, in retrospect, knowing who it was, do you think he just took it out of evidence? Because who would ever know? Who's going to check?
It could really be either way, and maybe not considered essential, but it could be either way. So it really is not a thing of,
Yeah, because at first I was thinking, like, if you go to the extent to make an outfit like that, like an exact recreation, and go to all that effort, you would think you'd have a very direct plan from the outset. But if he's just like, if he just sort of, snapped and decided one day, grabbed it out of evidence.
But then overall, it didn't matter when you seen like the one kid that was playing around and he had one on. So it's it's
Yeah,
like
true.
so it's like a thing of it's really not a thing. You know what I'm saying? If it were that one, and everything like that. He would be stupid to get it out of there if if you could easily if a high school kid could easily get one, and everything like that, and run around looking exactly like the executioner. So
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So it's just like, so basically it's just like, it's kind of like I said, it's kind of like that. So it's like, yeah, if that were the case, more of a weapon would be more of the thing that would be pivotal. Like if there was a certain weapon that was being like yeah, okay, somebody's being cut by things that look exactly like Freddy's glove hand, then it would be a thing that, okay, yeah, did he make that or did he steal that? You know what I'm saying? But it's like that mask, yeah, he would be stupid to leave that kind of vulnerability when you can just get that executioner mask.
Yeah, just buy it. Fucking however much.
So yeah, nah. I wouldn't think he'd be so lazy, especially out of everything, so out of everything that was going on and how sneaky and involved the chief of police was, with everything. So yeah. And it would be just the thing to make him look like a hero and divert attention off of off of that crazy shit that he was doing.
Absolutely fucking bonkers.
By the way, because it does bear mentioning before we get out of here, that he did actually abduct the girl, of course, and was actively graping her, and pedo too, by the way. Big
Yeah, she was
pedo.
15.
Huh?
She was 15, and I guess I figure he must have impregnated that first time, right? Because that kid was like, he had to be like 5, and it had been about 5 years. So you figure like it must have been that first night.
I guess so. I guess those details are just not, but I guess thinking about it, I guess you would have to say so. But yeah, the depravity just had to be, mentioned in the situation. That's the chief of police, of course. So yeah, that was just bonkers in his own right. So yeah, I don't know. That's why it kind of gets me to thinking. It kind of gets me to feeling like it was all strategic with him. I think all that was happening, and I think maybe some other stuff was just a part of him getting. Or maybe you're right though, man. Maybe with the husband, maybe with Dylan, maybe you guys were right. Maybe he was trying to pull her here too, but I don't know. One way or another, some things were about to start happening. One way or another, it felt like I just don't know. But maybe you guys were right. It just didn't seem like there was enough. But something definitely was strategic in what he was trying to do in that situation. So that's one thing I always felt, that there was something in everything that he was trying to do to at least jump up attention in certain ways or something. So gotta say that. But other than that, like I said, definitely a good installment to talk about. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
All right. And with that, we bid everyone adieu.
Yep. Bye-bye, everyone.
Have yourselves a good rest of the weekend.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna slash like a powerful horse.
Dude, I was TEE-HEE the whole time. I was like TEE-HEE.